Here we go.
You want to be like? Sensitivity equals fucking poverty.
Insensitive Culture, the podcast. Check it out, homie.
Guys, welcome to episode 139 of Insensitive Culture. As always, you know me.
What's up, what?
You know my guy over here.
And that fool blazer, Ramon.
On the other end is and we are
Insensitive Culture, the podcast. Make sure you check it out, homie.
What is good, bro? Johnny, we missed you last week.
What is good? Except being fucking dark as hell out right now. I'm so tight at this bullshit ass daylight savings.
Feels like it's 10 o'clock.
I thought they were getting rid of it.
There was a bill too, but it never got any traction with COVID and everything.
I think it passed the Senate, and I don't think it's got stalled in the House or some shit like that. So
we always get super excited about having an extra hour of sleep. If you're a party goer, you get an extra hour of partying. But
that's always nice.
Bars still got to close.
But I hate the nighttime.
No.
The ones I went to always closed.
No, they
closed at 1 o'clock.
Dicks then. I mean, it would technically be 2, but yeah, they were closing.
The second it turns to 2, it goes back to 1, and we get that extra hour of partying.
I mean, you could still. I was excited.
Actually, I don't think
hour.
it's. I think maybe it's later. I think it's when it turns 3, it turns 2, and that's why. I think I'm following what Dave says. I think that has happened to me before.
Because I thought the same thing. I was like, oh, it's only 1 o'clock. And they're like, nah, it's technically 2. We're done. You need to get your shit and get out of here.
I've definitely been.
I think I'm confusing with New Year's because I know for sure New Year's they would stay open till 4 or whatever. I don't know. It's so different because over here everything's open till 4.
I was gonna say, yeah.
I'm not trying to stay up till 5
I definitely remember. I definitely have memories of being out and we get that extra hour of partying.
That shit was illegal as fuck.
Because the second that it turns, because it switches at 2.
Right.
The second it turns 2, it goes back to 1. So it never technically turns.
Oh no,
2,
I get how the time change works.
I'm sure it has to be the establishment.
I think it's like local laws and that kind of shit. I don't know what it
I don't think it's local laws. I think it's the establishment.
The bar owner,
nah.
He was probably just being a grumpy ass bitch. Yeah. No, fuck him then.
Right.
Because that should have been, I mean, that's another hour for that business to rake in money, bro. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like most people, I don't think I've ever been there and thinking like, oh, we get another hour, and they're like, nah. Yeah, I got to get the fuck out.
You should have hung out at my spots then, because they hit us with that every motherfucking year.
I could see that being more of a bar thing. I can see that.
Yeah, so you're right. It is at 2 a.m. It says.
He's looking up local liquor laws and shit. I love it.
Yeah, I think it says technically at 2 a.m. the clocks change, so at 1:59 everyone should still be golden. However, some cities crack down on clubs when time springs forward and use it as an excuse to ticket bar owners. So out of cautious necessity, many close an hour early, or just because they want to.
Yeah.
So it's really up to the
when
bar
it springs
owner,
forward. You said, right?
Yeah, the proprietor.
You said when it springs forward, though.
I said spring forward, but I mean that doesn't really make any sense.
Yeah, I was gonna say if it's 3, then you really gotta go home. Then if she was supposed to close at 2.
Yeah.
You gotta leave fucking 2 hours early.
that one tracks.
Yeah.
Like that one makes sense. That actually sucks. It's like,
damn, it's 3.
You go out with the guys. They're like, you didn't come home until 4. It's like, babe,
bitch, it was
daylight savings.
We lost an hour. It was 3:04. I got home. Fuck.
Oh man. No, but those were the good days.
Mm-hmm.
Partying, get that extra hour. Now I was just happy to get that extra hour of sleep.
And I every
slept
time
like
I've done
shit.
it, it's always been like a house party. So I've just been out.
So
later.
that's still that's still cool.
Because that's usually it's usually like Halloween party weekend.
Yeah,
I'm not usually out at the bar. I'm usually at somebody's Halloween party, and so I'm just like, yeah, we got an extra hour tonight.
Yeah. Did you still feel it though? We old, bro.
Always.
You'll still feel
more
it.
the spring forward. When you go forward, when you lose that hour, you feel that shit.
Right.
But the go behind, I always liked the fall back, like and gain an hour. But this year, I still woke up mad early, like that Sunday, and like my day, I slept like shit. Like it was not as ideal as I was hoping it was gonna be.
Yeah,
for
my
sure.
girl works weekends, and this past weekend when that happened, she did not. So there was no. I just slept in as much as I could. Still went to the gym. Still did the same stuff, but it
was an hour.
Really,
earlier.
it was an hour. It's supposedly an hour later. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
it
so,
you technically is right.
Right. When I normally wake up at 8,
Yeah.
I actually technically woke up at 9.
Right.
You know, so
When the dog
it
eats,
felt good.
like
It
the
felt
dog food schedule is all off, and they fucking know that shit, bro.
Yeah.
They're like, "Yo, what? I should be eating right now." I'm like, "Nah, it's daylight savings, cuz."
You got
They're like,
dog
"What?"
food schedule?
I mean, yeah, he eats at pretty specific times, like
Yeah.
twice a day. Yeah.
Oh fuck. I should probably think about that too. I should probably do
You don't
that.
have your dog on a food schedule?
Not on a specific time.
Oh yeah,
But I should probably do
dogs
that.
like routines.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
sure.
do like routines.
And so does Dave.
Yeah, that was
That too.
that
It's really
tracks.
more for me, but because that way I know why the fuck you're crying at me.
Right.
Like Chica usually eats her morning or food around 11, and her evening is either between 6 and 7. So if she's begging me for some shit in not that hour time frame,
Yeah. You know,
it's either you trying to do too much, like no, it's too early, stop, or it's like I guess you want to go outside or some shit,
Yeah. Okay.
Word.
or you
I'll
did some
probably-
other shit.
probably-
yeah, there's,
I'll
there's
probably
a
start
shit
moving that
somewhere
shit
in
in
this house, isn't there?
Right. Dave, don't walk too fast.
I have puppies, man. There's a shit.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
All
That's
the
why
time.
you gotta
Yeah.
train them
Something,
early.
man.
Yeah.
No. So Charlie's good. She was a handful, but
Chai.
the little one comes now. Like
Just
once we
fucks
get
everything up.
once we get Charlie onto a good, like we're getting there. We're making progress. We bring the little one in, and the little one literally just fucking pisses in random spots just to be a fucking dick. So, and then it's just like, oh, we got to start all over again. Like, fuck.
I know it seems like it, but dogs are not capable of spite. I always felt like Cliff would do some spiteful ass shit,
Yeah.
but he doesn't.
No.
I know,
There's
I
a
know.
reason. There's a rhyme or reason why they do it, but it still pisses you the fuck off.
It's just we want to put that spite into it and be like, oh, that's for me, huh? Like this
Yeah,
is
like-
punishment for me. Like I
Right.
deserve this. Like
No.
right. Yeah.
Oh, man. Anyway, let's get into it, guys.
All right.
What do we got for? What do you got for us, Dave?
All right. First question. Mm-hmm. Would you rather be stuck in Jurassic Park or Jumanji? Jurassic Park. Both seem pretty dangerous to me.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's a tough call.
Jurassic Park or Jumanji?
Jurassic Park or Jumanji. Or Jurassic Park was like, what, wasn't that like in Puerto Rico
I'll
or
go
like an
Jumanji.
island down there?
It
Jumanji.
was off the coast of Costa Rica.
Costa Rica.
Yeah.
That's I knew it was a Rica. I just couldn't.
I knew it was some
One of those
Spanish
Ricans.
place. All Spanish countries look alike.
I thought it was
All
Guadalajara.
Ricans are just Ricans.
All Ricans.
Yeah. I might be with you
Yeah.
on that.
I think I'm gonna go Jumanji because really in Jumanji there was only one danger, and it was the hunter guy.
I mean, but like,
I mean, there was other-
There
you
was
know, there was-
alligators and shit, son.
Yeah, there was other shits that were, you know, as long as you were careful, I think you could traverse. But that's just kind of like regular jungle plus, right? Like, so but like in Jurassic Park, you're stuck on an island. You can't get off. There's no way to fucking get anywhere else.
True.
And pretty much everything that's on that island wants to eat you, almost
Also facts.
Or just so big that they can kill you
by
on
mistake.
accident.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm with you on there, but for a different reason. So yes, everything that you mentioned, but also in Jumanji, once you finish the game, everything goes away and shit gets reversed.
Okay. No, that's actually a very good
Well,
point.
I mean,
So
but does it if you're stuck there? Like, isn't that the whole thing? You're stuck.
Yeah, I guess
There is no game, right?
It did say when. Yeah, you're stuck. They did use the word
You're stuck, so there's no game. You're not getting out.
oh, okay. Well, either way,
They were both PG-13 movies, right?
Yes.
Because Jurassic Park wasn't rated R when that shit came out.
No, I don't even think it was PG-13. I think it might have just been PG.
I feel like Jumanji is more sort of like whimsical and magical, and Jurassic Park is like, yo, they'll tear your fucking ass up.
I was
son.
gonna
Like,
say fucking
they both
dinosaurs
have
fuck you up,
they
bro.
both have very different vibes, but Jumanji still seems very like. Wasn't there like a stampede of like
I'll tell you
rhinos
this.
or some shit like?
In the first one, yeah.
Yeah, like I'm thinking of like the Robin Williams Jumanji. By
Yeah,
the way,
yeah.
like that's
Yeah.
I feel
That's
like
what- that's
Johnny
what I'm
was
thinking,
Johnny
too.
was thinking Rock Kevin Hart because he said the
Well,
first
because we
one.
never saw the inside of Robin Williams' Jumanji, so we don't really know what Jumanji is like
Sure.
inside Robin Williams' version.
And I barely remember what it's like inside the Rock's
But either
version
way-
of Jumanji.
either
So
way,
It was just
we
like
can
a cool ass
imagine it's-
jungle.
Yeah, it's a jungle with a bunch of dangerous shit in there.
That's all.
But I also throw in the fact that he went in as a child and
Yeah, that's
survived to
true.
be a grown ass man. So there are ways to survive. Whereas if you were trapped in Jurassic Park
As a
and-
kid,
as a kid and there yo, you
Imagine how
are
badass
You
you'd be though, son, if you survived them years, and that could be like a
raptors and
sequel,
raptors
like
are
a-
fucking wild.
yeah. No, they'll hunt your ass. You're done.
That's what I'm saying.
No, there's
Yeah.
definitely more. I mean, I'm definitely gonna go Jumanji. Obviously, that's
Okay.
gonna be my just because I feel like I have a better chance. Like I said, it's more whimsical. Like I feel,
Dinosaurs are gnarly, man.
yo, for real. Like that's just
Word.
straight carnal,
Yeah.
murderous
That's it.
intent and rage. Like, yeah, no, dinosaurs don't play. And yeah, I feel like I have a better chance. Like I said, if bitch ass, because that kid, he was mad young when he got sucked into
Yeah,
that game, bro, and
exactly.
he still survived.
He
So
survived
yeah, that's,
into a grown ass man, bro.
and Newman couldn't survive at Jurassic Park. So yeah, it's got to be Jumanji. That's the only
Newman.
logical answer.
Let's keep it real. Newman wouldn't have survived Jumanji either.
hell no.
I'm sorry, Wayne Knight. You will forever be
He
Newman.
will forever be Newman. Everyone knows Newman. No one knows Wayne Knight.
No.
He's still around with us, right?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he does like Seinfeld podcasts and all kinds of stupid bullshit.
Why is that a thing now?
all these old
people gotta
shows
make
doing
money.
podcasts about the shows?
Yeah,
Same reason we're sitting here talking to these motherfuckers right here.
Word.
No. I mean,
Talking about you?
I get it. I get like how, the abundance of podcasts, but the fact that there's like their show is strictly based on the show, like the show that they were attached to many years ago.
I can think of two of those
You
in
know what I mean?
particular, and one of them is the Office podcast that Jenna Fisher and
they probably,
Angela
I think they want.
Kinsey
I want to say
do.
that they started that shit.
They do that podcast, and I've listened to a lot. I haven't listened to like full episodes, but like there's a lot of good shit for those diehard Office fans in
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
And then
Right.
Deborah Ann Wool from Daredevil and True Blood, she does a True Blood podcast with a couple other people from True Blood that also do it, and the fans are there, bro. They get the listens.
Yeah,
I'm sure
that's
they
what it
do.
is.
They do really well.
Yeah,
That's what it is. They got behind the scenes info on a show that lasted multiple seasons. 8+ seasons, I would say.
Yeah.
All of these shows that we're talking about, and for that, there's diehard fans, and so there's tons of content to talk about. They could probably do like 6 seasons themselves.
I've just
On shit that they saw personally.
I've just lately
exactly.
been seeing that shit a lot more because the
Yeah,
always
it's bringing
Sunny
up.
guys
I think
have-
you're
have
right,
a
though. I think the
podcast, too.
Office Ladies was the first one.
Yeah, they started
It's
it
the
off.
first one that caught like fame.
hit. Yeah.
But the Always Sunny guys have it. I don't think it's based on Always Sunny, whereas like
isn't.
these are.
But they still probably
No, that's
talk
just-
about that shit.
Oh,
That's
absolutely.
just them.
The Workaholic guys have
Workaholics
one.
guys, yeah. Are they still doing that? I feel like I haven't seen.
I don't know. I never listened to it,
Yeah, no. I mean, those
but
are all.
I know
I
those.
was
are,
never a big
And those
fan
are
of
all funny
Workaholics.
dudes too, so
Yeah,
that
that's true.
helps.
That's true. Yeah, I never really got into work.
Oh, really? Oh, dude.
Yeah.
So good. So funny.
Never really got into it. All right, so we all chose.
We went Jumanji. It just
Sweet.
seems more survivable.
Oh,
I think.
yeah.
That's fuck, dude. All right. Would you be celibate for a year to be able to have sex with any girl you wanted to after that year was up? And celibate, I'm gonna say there's no sex, there's no jerking off. Like, you're not busting for 365 days. No busting.
Yeah.
So you see some bomb ass shit on Instagram, some fucking fat ass booties that you want to spank bang for later that night. Nope. Save it for a year.
Yeah. I mean, if.
But then once that year's up, Ana de Armas, sure. Dua Lipa, okay.
Yeah,
Like
I mean, if I
against
was a
their
single
will?
man,
Like,
sure.
I'm confused.
No.
about this.
I mean,
why you gotta do that, Johnny?
Bruh.
Why? What?
Bruh.
Why?
You
Come
can
on.
just bang any woman you want. Like,
No, they.
We're not pillaging.
Like they
We're
would
not
want
pillaging Hollywood. I mean,
Yes,
no,
they want it. They want you.
100% want it. They're
Jesus
probably
Christ,
they're
Johnny.
probably over enthusiasts, more so than they should be to bang any one of us. But they're pretty stoked about it.
He had to sit here and be like, "Oh, against their will." What the fuck?
Does that change your answer if it is against their will, Johnny?
Kind of want to.
I mean, if it's against their will, I would not want that. No. No.
Mr. PC answers over here. No, that's fair. That's fair.
I mean, if that was like guaranteed, some shit like that,
It's
like
a long time.
That is
It
a
is-
long time.
it's a very long time.
Very long time. I've never gone that long.
I would, I want to say yes, I would, but
But something's gonna happen. What
I
if your
just-
girl's
my-
like, "Hey,
my
how do
discipline
you explain
sucks.
that to your girl?" Be like, "Yo, I'm trying to not bang or bust for a year so I can
I mean,
smash Ana de Armas."
no, honestly,
like, what?
if I take this deal, I don't have a girl. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if I,
Yeah.
if
Yeah, this is all assuming I'm not married.
you're right. Like,
Sorry, baby, not tonight.
Nah, babe, I'm saving it
if I'm
for
still in-
J-Lo.
Saving it for J-Lo. November's 18th of 2023. Oh, it's going down. You don't even know.
if that's the case, like, yeah, then if I'm
All right, so we're
single, I
single.
will
We're
take
single,
it. Yeah,
okay.
yeah, we're single.
So, man,
that's where you would.
And I mean, there's trust in you that you're not gonna, some random night during that year that you're just gonna crank one out. Like, it'll be known. It'll trigger off some sort of silent alarm. So
Yeah.
like you will be caught.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you
yeah,
can't,
yeah.
you can't fuck around here. This is
No, there's no way around it. I would have to say.
There's no way I'm lasting.
I don't think-
It's like
Yeah, I
it's
don't
an
think I-
ankle
I don't
ankle
think I
monitor
can.
around your dick, so they know. If
I'd be like Kramer. Speaking of Seinfeld, I'd be like Kramer. I'd just walk in like,
I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably try to go as far as I can, but a year, that's a long time.
That's so long.
I'm not going to sit here and be like, nope, absolutely not. But I would say I would try my best.
Sure. You'd
I'll
have
try
some
my
chick
best.
in mind. You just like, all right, come on, let me just put a picture on my
Amazing
fridge and
Race.
shit.
Yeah, I would try my best, but I don't have confidence in the fact that I would complete a full
I'm
full year.
very weak. I give in to temptation very quickly, so I don't feel like that would happen. Yeah, they'd be
Yeah.
like, "Yo, this new Vicky Aisha drops, son. You need to beat that." I'm like, "Oh, word! I gotta check this out."
You would instantly
All right.
ban me.
that shit would be
from-
all blocked.
Yo,
all the meat words
I
on
couldn't.
Twitter.
No social
No
media.
social
son.
media,
I can't.
period. Yeah,
There's
you
no
can't do it.
social media at all. I
Yeah.
couldn't. Not even Facebook. I don't want to see
Oh man, but
old people.
you're giving up also your private browser tabs. Those are all
I
gone.
know computers. I'm getting rid of my phone. I have to get rid of everything, bro. That's temptation, son. I need to go live in a remote village in fucking
back to the
Bangladesh. Yeah.
Bangladesh.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Flip
a
phone.
remote village in Bangladesh. So you're saying there would be nothing enticing in Bangladesh?
No, I mean, maybe some sexy Indian chicks. And then even then I'd be like, fuck, all right, dude, let's bang some sexy Indian chicks. Like, this is tough, dude. I'm going to say no. I could not. No matter where I am. Thailand,
Yeah.
fucking, I mean,
Just for 1
especially
year.
Thailand.
Word.
Yeah, I'm going to
Just become a hermit for 1 year.
Where would you? I'd have to live by myself in the desert, just like as a gypsy for a year. But even then, I'd go for memories. Son, at that point, I'd be like, all right, I got nothing, but I remember.
Yeah, where do you
stuff.
imagine the ugliest women in the world are that
I
you
can't say
could be
that's
the
mean.
least tempted?
That's mean. Alaska, like some Eskimo chicks, all wrapped up in their shit with their hoods on. It's cold. You don't want to pull your dick out in that cold. I would be the least tempted to pull my dick out in like
But
negative
she's sitting
30.
in front of a warm fireplace all
Oh
the time.
shit! I'm clapping them cheeks, son. It's over.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say like maybe like them countries where they're all like covered up and there is no.
Now I'm curious. Now, like, oh, what's
Well,
under
no,
that?
but
What you got?
but I was gonna
Land
say
or some shit.
Yeah, like I was gonna say some shit like that because they're all
Qatar.
covered up, so there's less temptation there. But yo, sometimes
that's
you look
more-
at them
that's
girls,
more
yo, they got some,
temptation.
and then it's like, yo, she got
After-
some
yeah.
dope ass
Dope
eyes,
yep.
bro.
After 6 months, you're like,
Yep. After a week or two,
what I would
just
do to
not
them
busting
eyelashes.
Nah, bro. Yeah. You like, yo, them eyelashes look crazy. Yo, that shit fit in hers like a sundress, bro.
Like shit. She
I
too,
can see them
fake.
hams, bro.
Yeah.
No hams though, son. No hams.
I knew it. I knew she wasn't wearing a bra under that shit.
No pork. No pork.
That shit'll happen so fast. So
Look at
fast.
how she jiggled when she walked. Look at how she jiggled.
Oh yeah, every little thing, son.
The
Every
only
little,
thing that would help in that situation is even if that were to happen, like, yo, you can't really fuck around, man. Somebody might fucking murk your ass
Yeah.
for looking at their girl.
Nah, she's getting in trouble. Son.
That's
You're not
true,
getting in the middle.
Oh yeah.
She's in deep
Yeah,
shit.
true that, true that.
You be cool. You be cool. Like, yo, she shouldn't have fucked around like that. That's on her. It's sad, but it's
right,
true.
You're right.
You're right.
Oh man, because like even if you go to like PR or like definitely in PR, man, you look at somebody's
it's
girl,
over.
man, they come at you with a machete, bro.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I'm still gonna.
we've seen the videos, the death videos.
We've seen a lot of death in Puerto Rico. Yes, we have. Yes, we have.
Oh,
It's a
man.
very scary place. That's how you guys know that's how I picture Puerto Rico, right? Just people getting murdered
Yeah.
everywhere. Like,
bro.
I hope it's not really like that.
I remember being young and
It's just a taller
And-
Mexico.
yeah, you're right. Everybody's just taller
More-
than Mexico.
More square mileage.
Yeah. I remember being young, bro, and we had people that would come from PR would bring these videos of the news out there.
No.
Because the news would show dead bodies and shit. When there's a murder,
Just
you're
unedited and
seeing
shit?
yeah,
You're
you're
just looking
seeing
at
the dead
corpses?
body. Yeah. I can see the image in my head right now of someone who was of a girl that was murked in PR, and it was like just the news.
Just the news. You're just.
It was
crazy.
just
Ain't
yeah,
that
it was just a
crazy?
news article where they were just
How,
recording.
like, Ain't it just crazy though how like you still remember the image of some shit that you saw 10, 15 years ago, like clear as
Yeah.
fucking day?
Absolutely.
That's wild how our memories are.
Yep.
Shit imprints.
Because that was a core memory of the first time I saw a dead
dead
body and like how that girl looked, and it did not seem normal, and that shit imprinted. Yeah.
Bro.
Same shit
I
with like
remember
my
those
first
like
beheading video.
those snuff films
Yeah.
and shit like that when those were making their way around the internet.
I don't think I
All
ever
those
seen those.
what was Faces of Death? Remember that shit?
I
Yeah,
remember
Faces of Death. Yeah. That's where
Yeah,
I
that's
saw like the
basically
beheading
snuff
videos
films.
and shit.
You guys remember steakandcheese.com? Good.
No, that's some straight white boy
Yeah.
shit.
No, that's just some
Same
dark,
shit with like
dark-
Two Girls, One Cup. Everybody was talking about it. They'd go to that. I never went to
You
that.
never
Wow.
saw it? You never
No.
watched Two Girls, One Cup? Still to
No.
this day, you
To
never
this
saw
day,
Two Girls,
no.
One Cup.
I think I probably saw like before it started getting into the crazy shit.
What?
Yeah, I
Yo,
never wanted to,
We
bro.
need a
Never
walk
seen that shit?
reaction.
That
A
shit would
walk
make
reaction.
me,
Two Girls, One
that
Cup.
shit would make me
Nobody.
gag
I don't think
so
anybody
hard.
that watched it wanted to watch it, but it's like
Nah.
you gotta watch it.
Just to say that you watched
but
it.
no, I would get to the part and I just know myself, dude. That would actually be a hilarious video.
Oh yeah, it's
if you had me
it was
watching the shit and my
gag-inducing,
reaction.
100%.
We're gonna at our we did the 100 episodes. We did the Hot Ones challenge, right?
Yeah.
200 episodes.
We're gonna do the 2 girls 1 cup
No,
challenge.
we're gonna do the Hot Ones challenge while we're watching 2 Girls 1 Cup. We're gonna take that shit to the next level.
That would be fucking gross. Dude.
No one else is doing shit
No
like
one
that.
wants to watch that because we're gonna be.
Oh my god, that would be wild.
Yeah, see? Like, all right, then this is a spicy chipotle sauce. Oh my god. Yeah, it's not gonna be good.
Yeah, no. I think it would be easy. It would be better if we do chocolate ice cream cones while we're doing that.
Pudding. Chocolate pudding. We have to eat.
Everything that looks like whatever the fuck they're eating.
There's so much poop foods. We're eating poop foods while we're watching the 2 Girls 1 Cup.
That would be the grossest thing. Nobody wants to watch that.
We
shit.
both have to eat it out of 1 cup. It's perfect.
So gross. Oh man. All right, let's move the fuck on, please.
That's fair. Okay. Last question.
Okay.
Would you rather live in colonial times or the year 2500? 2500, which is a very long time. And I thought about when I first saw this question, I thought, how different is it going to be in 2500? And I don't even think that's something that we can fathom because, like, how different was shit 5 years ago compared to now?
I mean,
post-COVID, and how many little COVID things would pop up between now and 2500? That's like, let's call it 500 years from now.
I mean, in all honesty, there's at least with the colonial times, you know what you're getting yourself into.
That was my thought. I mean, you have an idea of what to expect.
You have an idea,
it's probably going to be way shittier than you think, like Oregon
gonna
Trail
be
style. But like, you at least have an idea. 2500. Like, are we eating Taco Bell pills like Demolition Man? Like, what's happening in 2500?
No,
like,
I would think best case scenario we actually evolve. And not as a human, but as a civilization. That's the best case scenario. Worst case scenario is
like a Judge Dredd type situation where there's
or like Book of Eli kind of shit where shit
the
hit
road,
the fan.
the road.
Shit hit the fan, and you're technically
or like C. It could be like C.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, bro.
And where shit is just like
500 years is a long time. It's hard to tell.
That's what I
500
mean.
years. 10 years, 5 years is a long time. Anything could happen. Think of how your life was different 5 years ago or 10
100
years ago.
from now. 100 years from now.
I mean,
can you think
10
about?
Years ago wasn't that crazy.
Can you think
But I feel
about
what you're
100
saying.
years
Still
ago?
different.
100 years ago to now. Like
It's
someone
basically
who's
colonial times.
but that's what I'm saying. Like 100 years ago to now, the difference is wild. It's crazy. Like to someone who was living back then, and there are people who are still alive right now that have witnessed that and seen the evolution of it. But if you were just shot into this world from
forward. No,
500
I can't imagine
forward,
going 500 years back.
Nah, 500. Oh my,
1500s.
Do that shit.
We talked about this earlier. Like my appendix
You would be the only
burst, I'd
person.
be dead.
Yeah.
I would have died. I would have been cool and white for a while, and then I would have fucking died from some bullshit that nobody could cure. And it would fucking blow.
Yeah. Some sort of.
So imagine like the people that lived to be old back then, like
Old.
that's
was like
fucking
35.
amazing. No, I mean old, like what we would consider like you people with
think that was
beards and
rare.
shit. Like it was rare. That's what I'm saying. Like when people did actually do it, when you came across, that dude's fucking 65 and he has white hair and shit, you got to be like, yo, my man's seen some shit.
Yeah.
He knows some shit. He's probably an OG.
I
Do
would
people
probably
even live that long? I feel like they at like 45 looked the way people at 95 look now.
Look at pictures of how old on our dollar bill. How old was George Washington in that portrait? Do we have any
Oh my
idea?
God, that's a good question. I'm sure there's an answer.
Now, let me guess. If you're going to look it up, let me guess
Yeah.
while you're doing that. That picture of George, I would say he's 55. He looks old as fuck. I don't even know how old George Washington lived to be, so that could be completely a wild thing to say.
I love, by the way, the random random thought on that is I love that one meme where it's the dude in the makeup and like the hair. It's just like, can you imagine being a Native American back in the day and seeing this weird ass person come out of a ship?
Powdered wigs and shit.
Yeah, the powdered makeup and shit. It's like, what the fuck is that? But just to get back on so I would have to say I would want to move forward.
Yeah.
500 years.
Yeah. He died at 67.
67. Okay.
So yeah, he's probably like 50 something
All right.
in that image.
Wow. So he lived to be old, bro. For George Washington, like colonial times, my man was old.
I'm looking at
God damn.
colonial times. What ran from 1492 to 1763.
Okay.
So, and I think I've said this before on this podcast, but those times were not kind to my to people who look like me, dude.
Wow, he was 64.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's some 64-year-olds now that look way better than that dude.
But still, like I thought he was going to be younger.
64-year-olds now, I think twice about banging.
Facts.
I'd have to go in the future though.
Old GW.
Because 1492 to 1763, if I had to go back to that, one was not kind to folks who look similar to me. And two, it's just crazy times.
What
man.
if you went back to Puerto Rico during those times?
I don't think I
Is that any different? Is there still white people colonizing Puerto Ricans? And
Dude, I have tattoos and shit. Yeah.
I see.
Getting murked, chased down.
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah, man.
Puerto Ricans never just got to chill in Puerto Rico and do their thing?
No, man. That Puerto Ricans
didn't
made...
become Puerto Ricans until the early 1900s.
So, how long has Puerto Rico actually been a country or a state, sort of, technically, like its own sort of entity?
Since the early 1900s, the Spanish-American War is when Puerto Rico was liberated from Spain and was given to the U.S. as a prize, and then they've been a colony of the U.S. ever since. Spanish-American War.
So it was Spaniards.
1902 or
lived.
1890s. Yeah, Christopher Columbus came in the name of Spain, took over Puerto Rico and never let it go. Killed all the Indians and all the Taínos. And
so we were quote unquote discovered. We were quote unquote discovered by Europeans 528 years ago.
So how far back could you go and be on the island of Puerto Rico or whatever it was called back? I don't know, probably wasn't Puerto Rico, but like, and
Borinquen,
sort of assimilate.
It was called.
What was it?
Borinquen.
It was called Borinquen.
And then like that, the Americans like Americanized it. Like that kind of sounds like Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico translates to rich port.
Rich port. I'm getting a whole history lesson here. I like this.
Yeah.
I don't know
Spain,
enough about
translates to.
Spain changed the name to Puerto Rico.
Spain changed it.
Yeah.
Y'all fuck with that? You like Spaniards? Do you guys have beef with Spaniards? Like, like actual
Puerto Ricans
Spaniards
do.
from Spain? Yeah.
Puerto Ricans got beef with
get
Spaniards
it. That's
still.
fucked up.
Yeah.
Damn,
like
son.
native Puerto Ricans, I say, like from the island. When I went to Spain a couple years ago,
you were in
Spain
like 3 years ago
now. It was like 3 years ago. I went to Barcelona, and
Barcelona.
And when I told like both my dad and my in-laws, when we told them we were going, they both had like some wisecrack jokes, like, something about, go, what was it? Or go tell the Queen of Spain to go, freír papas, to go fry potatoes.
That's
it was like some
old,
mad like corny shit, but it was still old people shit. But it was still like go tell them to go fuck themselves when you're there. Go fuck
themselves, for sure. Fry potatoes. That is funny.
But just to get back to the question, I would go into the future only because there's a 50-50 shot. Because there's a chance that there's nothing there, and like
You're by yourself. You just start civilization.
You just have to survive again, and there's a chance that we've actually like evolved into
like one race where everyone is like pretty much the same.
But what if
thing
it's
at
like
that
the
point,
opposite? What if it's like we have evolved, but it's evolved badly? Like it's evolved to
they're not
like,
welcoming us at
another
all.
like, yeah, maybe it's like in this
Or Spanish
in this,
Inquisition.
Yeah, maybe like the African community takes over, and everyone who's not of dark complexion gets
everyone who's
murked
not
or
dark,
becomes a
dark.
slave.
Oof.
Like,
yeah, see, I mean, you're taking a
or
chance.
the
but-
Chinese take over.
But
You're
there's
not Asian,
but there's a
done.
but the fact that there's a chance that there could be some sort of, because there's a high chance that society is still the same, just a little bit more.
Oh, it's probably. I mean, I think that's
Technologically
more
advanced.
probable than anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Could be
So
Planet of the Apes. It could be monkeys, dog.
yeah, that's true.
Could that too?
Not correlated to what Jonni was talking about. Jeez.
Yeah, no correlation.
So, but there's a chance that it's better.
Oh shit! I
Jumping
just got what
forward.
you
But
were saying. Jesus
No
Christ!
correlate. I just had to say that because like this guy just went from, and he's white, so we never
I
know.
can't make Planet of the Apes jokes. That was off color for a white person to make. I can't. Who did that? That was Joey Diaz, right? Did he?
I think
no,
so,
it was Rogan.
No,
it was Rogan. It was Rogan
yeah,
on
yeah. But he was literally talking about like.
He was, yeah.
Anyway, I'm just saying that there's a better chance that the future is brighter.
Sure.
There
is a chance, whereas you know-
going back to
You
this
know
time
damn
where
well that wasn't better.
no one is going to fuck with me. Period. I know that.
Maybe you could be Native American.
Even then, I know
you're
what
good-
happened to the Native Americans.
You're good
back
for a
then.
little bit. You'd probably die before
And
all
the
that
Native
bad stuff
and the Native
happened to
Americans are gonna look at me and be like, "You are definitely not one of us."
You got to befriend a Native American, learn the language and the customs,
Yeah.
and then assimilate. You got this.
Oh man. So you're telling me that my entire life back then would be pretty much the basis
Pretending
for
to be a
Avatar.
Native American. No, just to survive. Yeah. Pretending. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Avatar. You're the Navi.
Oh man. All right. Is that the last?
That's it, baby. That's all the questions I got.
Y'all didn't even answer. We just went into this whole fucking.
Oh yeah, no,
tangent.
I'm going forward too.
You're going
Just-
forward?
Yeah, just medical advances. I want to see the new technology and the crazy shit. Like I'm hopefully there's like a cancer pill, there's an AIDS pill, like
Yeah.
But then there's probably other new shit that you
Oh,
have to
yeah,
worry about
absolutely,
then. But like I want to see how shit evolves. Like I've read about that. I've seen movies. I have an idea. Well, like you said, we know how colonial times were. Let's fuck with that. Let's fuck with that future.
Jonni, you got that too?
Yep, same. I would go in the future.
It would suck if you jump into
Be
the
holding
future
out
and
hope.
then you.
Yeah.
It would suck if you jump into the future and you realize humanity left and went to another planet.
Yeah. Like, how do I get there?
Yeah.
And it's just us
fuck.
and we're back in fucking Jumanji.
Oh,
Yeah, we're
shit.
back
Just
in
turned into
Jumanji.
Jumanji.
Good callback. Or Jurassic Park. It could be either. Who
Oh,
knows?
yeah,
Probably
really,
more
yeah.
likely Jurassic Park. It's back to the Triassic period.
Oh man. All right.
Facts.
So we're good there.
Yeah.
Done
yeah.
with questions.
That's
cool.
it.
You know what it's time for. News
Boom. Oh shit! I missed y'all last week. Y'all
Shit.
did good covering the news though. I am back in the saddle. Lots of shit has both happened and is currently happening. Big story as of right now. When you hear this on Thursday, maybe or maybe not, the democracy as you know it is still around. Walk's favorite topic, politics. Today is voting day in the United
Can't
States
really
of
avoid it.
America. So yeah, today's election night, and I guess we'll find out tomorrow morning what the fucking. Well, probably not, because they're probably expecting most of these things to take forever to
Wrap up
count
tonight.
up the votes.
I
and-
thought they usually do it like at night.
yeah.
What am I thinking of?
Nah,
for, like,
they'll
in the
definitely
news?
do
They have
shit.
The counts. They
Yeah,
have
I mean,
ideas,
all the news
right,
channels.
of where it's
There'll be some, but just like I especially, after 2020, I'm expecting almost everything where a Republican loses to be challenged. Because if they lose, then it's rigged. If they win, then it was fine.
And it's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see what the next, let's say 30 days are like. I'm just happy to no longer have these fucking, election commercials on TV anymore because I'm way too sick and tired of those shits.
Buzz killers a lot of the time.
You guys still watch
100%, man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I watch a lot of TV.
I watch a lot of streaming. I never.
That's still TV.
So I did. No,
you're not better.
Yeah,
you're not better than anybody.
I haven't ran into. I haven't run into
those
any
ads, political ads.
That's why. That's what I mean.
Johnny, where do you see the political
sports.
ads? You don't.
That's
do you
the main
do you
thing.
have cable?
Oh, that's probably why.
Well,
or you just see them during
a lot
like
of
football
sports.
games and shit. Yeah, they play them.
Yeah, sports games, the World Series that just ended with the Cheat Stros winning, and
the trash Stros.
Typically, I do watch just about every morning. I watch the Today Show, or at least it's playing. And so during that time,
you watch the Today Show every morning, and then you give me shit for watching fucking Jeopardy at night. Get the fuck right out of here. That's some bullshit right
Jeopardy
there.
is
My
not
man
the same
has
as
on
the
some
Today
bullshit.
Show. I'm learning
they're both
I'm waking
just
up
as
and
white.
finding
They're
out what the
just
hell
as
happened
white.
last night.
I'm finding out. These are facts, son. These are facts.
I am learning what is happening right now. You're just like
I'm learning what has
reciting
happened.
Trivia. You're just learning trivia.
I don't think one's better than the other. I feel like they're both old.
If you're even
white
learning,
shit.
I hope you're learning from it.
Oh, I
what was the
retain
last
that
fact
shit.
you learned from Jeopardy?
Oh shit! You put me in a tight spot here, Johnny. I just watched Jeopardy like 2 nights ago, and I feel like it was Wheel of Fortune.
Celebrity
It was a Wheel
Jeopardy?
of Fortune night. It was the celebrity. I did see some Celebrity Jeopardy. Yeah, but
I've been
those
seeing
are
that on Hulu. I ain't gonna lie.
Those
I've been
are
watching
easy as a
Celebrity
bitch,
Jeopardy
bro.
and Celebrity Wheel of Fortune on Hulu.
Celebrity shit don't count because they make it easier for them. Like I do way too
they
good
do.
when I watch those. Like that's
hell
not
yeah.
real shit,
That's how
bro.
you
Like
know.
I'm not that smart, and if I'm getting a lot of those answers, then they're just mailing it in for the celebrities.
Oh, I would crush Celebrity Jeopardy. I'm mad. I know all the answers. On that
Facts,
fucking
bro.
show.
Facts. I need something in between normal Jeopardy and Celebrity Jeopardy, like an intermediate Jeopardy, and then I feel like that's my sweet spot.
I'm not good at any kind of trivia. Not necessarily because I don't know the answers, is I can't think that fast.
It
And
is
I want to
quick.
say that the fact
the
that it's
moment,
on the
yeah.
spot, it's in the moment.
Click
Like
that
I'll
buzzer.
probably do well watching it at home, and
Maybe Family
at least
Feud
doesn't
you could
rely
do.
on it. Possibly, yeah. I
Because
could I
sometimes
could
you
do
got
that.
maybe not on the buzzer, but while you're
Right, right,
going
right.
down the line, you got a little bit of
When
time
they're
to think of your
collaborating.
answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, all the clips that I've been seeing online too, they've been getting real loose with Family Feud, bro.
Oh, Family
Like
Feud.
this-
Is that still Steve fucking
We
what's
get
his,
real
Steve
loose
Harvey?
with it.
so.
Yeah. He don't give a fuck, bro. He pushes that shit. They love that shit. They want it to get wild. At this point, like that's not accidental.
From the clips
Yeah.
that I see, like they'll have mad sexual shit. Like
He's talking about sitting on faces and
Yeah,
shit. I
that's
was
what I
like,
was saying.
yo, what is this? This is not. Louis Anderson would never have stood for any of that. That's all I'm saying.
Louis Anderson. I forgot he was a host of that show.
My man, Louis Anderson. Fuck.
man. All right, what's next?
Anyways, so yeah, that's what's happening at this moment in America for our international audience. That's what we're doing over here, trying
Our
to
Ukrainian
be a beacon,
audience.
still be a beacon to our Ukrainian audience and even our Russian listeners. In other
our
news,
Russian-
let's see what else has happened since our last show. This popped up. I thought this was pretty dope, especially for Rochester folks. Puffy has bought Sean Diddy Combs. Is now apparently the owner of the largest black-owned cannabis company in the world. Because Cresco Labs bought Columbia Care, but in order to do so, they had to sell off some of the assets. And so they sold off some of the Columbia Care facilities in New York, Michigan, and I believe Illinois, and they sold them to Love. They sold them to Love because I guess that's what he calls himself now is Love.
He does call himself Love.
For
Yeah.
real?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his new name. That's what I see on Twitter.
But it's dope though. It's yeah. I mean, yeah. He just calls himself that.
At
He
first,
didn't,
I
like,
was
go all the way
hating,
and
but
actually,
But
I
now
don't
it's
think
cool.
I don't think he's officially changed his name, but
he is
yeah,
no.
He's just trying to.
He's just trying to correlate
just love.
himself with positivity and
All right.
love.
I can fuck with that.
yeah.
Right. But that's dope. That's dope. That and like I told, I was telling Dave, I'm like, yeah, when you're rich like that, you don't have to start from the bottom up.
Right.
Like you just buy some shit that's already established, already has, you know, everything set, and then you hire people to run it.
If I'm Elon Musk right now, I'm buying cookies from Burner, and that's gonna be my shit. Like that's what I want. On God,
You think Burner would sell?
for enough money, yeah. Burner's
Yeah,
not
there's
stupid.
there's always a price.
There's always a
Yeah,
price.
Burner's
And if I were-
definitely all about the money.
And that's not a
He's
$44
already done
billion
some shady
company.
shit.
For sure. You don't get to where Burner is without some shady shit anyway.
You don't get to
Exactly.
Yeah, you're right. Because if he's number 4, he's number
He
4
stepped
on
up
the
because
richest.
of
On the
Kanye,
hip-hop.
right? Because Kanye
On
went
the
down,
hip-hop,
he
yeah.
jumped up
Number.
a spot or two.
Yep, because Kanye went down. He's number. He's number.
I think he's tied with
4,
Kanye.
right? Was it?
No,
was it?
he was number 3 after Puffy. Because that shot him to Jay-Z number 1. Oh no, yeah, Jay-Z number 1, Diddy number 2, and then Burner, and then Ye.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, he fucking up.
That means he's making money,
Nah,
making good money.
I mean he's still making good money, but Burner's doing his thing.
No, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah,
I'm talking about Burner.
Oh okay,
Yeah,
yeah. I thought you were talking about Kanye.
Fuck
so-
Kanye. No, I'm talking about Burner. Burner's making good money. Like you would assume he's
yeah.
making good money, but
The way
I
I
thought
see
he was
him
like in the
living-
1 to 2
Nah,
100 million. That's where I thought he was. Y'all thought he was higher.
My man is on the cover of Forbes. That boy, he's doing big
you thought he
things.
was higher than where he's at?
I thought he was lower.
Oh, okay.
Lower.
Where he's
I
at.
thought you said he was higher.
I
than where
thought
he's
no.
at.
I thought he was at the 100, 200 million
Nah, he's
mark. But to
all
be
those-
at a
I mean,
half a
he's
billy,
he's got a cookies in Israel.
at
son.
almost
They got-
a half a
They got
billy,
cookies
it's
all
like,
over the world, so they might not sell herb, but they sell clothes.
I
they
mean, I
sell
feel
their
you.
shit,
I feel you. But I didn't. Even though the company is,
and music. Like he doesn't even just have the herbs, son. He's got the music. He's got the clothes. Like
I don't think he makes that
everything.
money,
dog.
much money off music, though.
no, I was gonna say
Nah,
that. shit.
his music
Nah.
is whack, son. That
Nah,
shit is
it's
trash.
like-
I love Burner.
Possibly.
I love cookies, but that shit is garbage.
He's
All
I
of
don't
it.
even think he
mean-
makes $1 million a year off of music. 'Cause he doesn't tour and perform.
That's
So
like
it's
his.
all streaming.
That's his. That music to him is what podcasting is to us. It
Yeah,
probably gives
facts.
him nothing, but it's fun for him. He loves to do that. He
Exactly.
enjoys doing that, and he lives
Yeah.
his shit like that's
100%.
That's how I look at it anyway. But he's
Full,
got
full,
bread
full,
coming in
full.
elsewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's definitely not
Full
doing
send.
nothing off of that.
Nah, can't be. It's so whack, dude. And I feel bad saying that, but it's bad.
Nah, it's just, and it was crazy as you watch him on, or you follow him on Twitter and IG and shit. And he posts shit, and there'd be people like,
He's
this
collabing
the
with
illest album
everybody, dog.
ever. And
Yeah,
like,
I
people
know,
get
right? They're
hard.
screenshotting it.
People, yeah.
Pre-ordering it, just trying to get a
Yeah, they-
retweet.
they-
That's all
they
that
tripping.
is. That's yeah.
I mean, he's cool and all, but no, my
Yeah.
bad, bro.
He gets a lot of good collabs. Wiz Khalifa is his boy. Like they do a lot of shit.
does,
but, like,
Yeah, that comes with money.
He can't.
That
He
comes
can't. He
when you
can't
pay
stand
for it.
on his right. No,
When
I'm
you
saying.
pay for
I
it,
think
yeah,
was,
you get
he
all
was
that
signed
shit.
with Wiz Khalifa's brand for Wiz Khalifa's label for a little bit. I
Yeah.
think before the either before the cookies thing was like big, or just as it was starting to take off, he got signed by Wiz Khalifa. But anyways, just speaking of music, oh shit, walking away because I was.
Nah, we good.
his
We good.
Opinion.
We good.
'Cause,
He's got a baby bladder, son.
I was just gonna bring up the new Drake 21 Savage album that dropped. Just covering that, the fact that Drake released another album this year. And this time it's actual rap, hip hop, as opposed to the kind of more house music that he released at the beginning of the summer.
Wait, whatever just came out, was that a Drake album with other people on it? Was that a collab album with him and 21 Savage? I'm still confused about what that.
That was like a Watch the Throne. It was a Drake and 21 Savage. Their duo album. They're, I believe, on every song is both of them.
Is that commonplace in the industry?
Not common.
I feel like that's
not common, but not uncommon. It's not as like it's not as rare as it used to be. I would say, back when they did Watch the Throne, and when Justin Timberlake did his shit with Jay-Z. Like that was kind of groundbreaking. Like you got two mega stars in Jay-Z and Kanye, and two mega stars in Jay-Z and Justin Timberlake, mega stars in who was it? Bad Bunny and J Balvin. They did, Linkin Park and Jay-Z wasn't really a new album. It was a remix of a Linkin Park album. True. It was a cross. It was
maybe the R. Kelly one.
Yeah, that was more of a remix. Jay-Z, R. Kelly, right? They did a whole album.
Best of Both Worlds. Yeah.
Yeah, that might have been one of the first kind of collabo albums like that. So yeah, I would say it's not uncommon, but it's definitely not commonplace to do like duo albums like that. And usually it's like the top in the game at the time, which is why I thought it was kind of funny that he did an entire album with 21 Savage, because I think 21 Savage is a pretty big artist, but I didn't think he was so big that he deserved. And I didn't even realize that he fucked with Drake that hard that they would do an entire fucking album together. Right. It's dope, but that caught me for a loop for sure.
Yeah, I thought that album was good. Like I still listen to the album. I honestly, and I heard I've heard some shit on it, and people were just saying like, "Yo, this is the Drake album that we've been wanting," and it just has 21 Savage on it. You know what I mean? Like he's just on a bunch of the tracks, but I fuck with it. I like it a lot.
It sounds like 21 Savage is on a ride on the Drake album.
Yeah,
like everyone's just like, oh yeah, 21 Savage is there, cool.
No,
but I'm fucking with this Drake right now, though.
Honestly, not for nothing, but the songs that 21 Savage is on, and it's not as surprising to me because as of late, the songs that 21 Savage and Drake have been on together, like where they're just featured, those songs were dope. Those songs were like dope ass songs. So maybe that just sparked it. Like, yo, we have a good thing. Like, every time we come out with a track, it blah, blah, blah. So maybe that's more of what sparked that. Okay. And then because definitely from that album that you liked last, what's that shit called again? The dance album.
Honestly, Nevermind.
Shit.
Yeah, Honestly, Nevermind. It ended on that Jimmy Cooks, and Jimmy Cooks, that song was fire as fuck. That was people say it's the best song in that album because it was the only rap song. But it ended on that note, and this just kept that.
So kind of like leads one into the other.
He probably strategically did that. It's like, yo, I'm putting this new shit out, which is all dance. I know people are gonna give it shit, but after Certified Lover Boy was after that dropped, and that was mainly like a bunch of slow jams, and like people were talking shit because it was a bunch of slow jams. Then he comes out with a fucking dance album. He had to come out with this shit, and he probably just didn't want to do that shit alone. I don't know. But whatever. I really like this album.
Word.
Yeah. Let's see. Moving on. Some other shit that happened. Oh, today. So there was some like little trickery kind of things going on. I don't know. Little suspect with the Powerball, which is the largest Powerball jackpot ever, was supposed to be drawn last night on Monday. People woke up Tuesday morning like, all right, who are the winning numbers? And there were none because they didn't draw the fucking Powerball at night. Something about, I heard different things. I heard that there was some of it had to do with Jackpocket, the app that you use to buy lotto numbers.
I didn't hear that.
There was so many people buying through that they got behind. And apparently, I guess one of the rules is that they won't draw the numbers until all the tickets have been tabulated that have been sold or whatnot. And they didn't get all of them from a couple of states. Didn't get them in time, so they decided to postpone the drawing. Then they drew it Tuesday morning, and one motherfucker hit, just one, and it ended up at $2.04 billion jackpot. One motherfucker from California hit. And I believe the take home is actually,
a billion, right?
Nah. Well, the jackpot itself would be if you do the cash prize, because remember 2.04 is if you do 29 years of payments. If you do all cash up front, the lump sum ended up being about $1 billion. And then you take all the income taxes out of that, and it ended up being 424 million take home.
Oh my god!
Find a way to fuck you.
Give me I guess the yearly, because I thought I read the yearly payments were like 50 something million a year or something.
Yeah, give me that.
Filthy
give
like
me
that, bro. Like I feel
Can't be like 50 million a year, maybe 5 million.
I feel like it was a decent amount per year, and if that ends up adding up to the billion, I'm fucking taking that. That lump sum. That's
lump sum. That's
I'm not
crazy.
It never works.
I
out
get
that
it.
way, though.
Turning my nose up at $400 million, but when you think you got
that's
$2
what I'm
billion
saying.
coming
like,
to you, son,
400
and
million
get
for
four,
doing nothing.
Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna turn that down. But like, if I thought I was getting, $1 billion check, let's say $2 billion jackpot, half is, let's say half, 50% is taxes, which is fucking wild. I'm expecting $1 billion to hit my account and 400 million hits.
So if you do 50 million a year for 29 years, it ends up being 1.45.
Okay,
billion.
so that's more like
maybe 50 million a year.
But if the
50
jackpot,
million a year in 30 years is just not going to be worth as much.
Yeah, but
No, that's true.
But
That's
either
true.
way, it's like really the jackpot is. So every time I've seen it, because like even the person who does like the 1 billion, who won that one, the lump sum came out to be
like 700 or something.
No,
right?
it
Like,
came out to be a little bit more than half, like 500.
Okay.
So if it's at 2.9, you would think that even after everything, taxes and everything,
I mean, it was 2. It wasn't 2.9. It was like 2.04 or something.
Whatever. It's $2 billion.
Yeah,
You would think that after everything, you would land somewhere near that 1 billion.
Yep.
But for you to say, oh yeah, the lump sum is way lower, and then taxes ends up at 4. What?
Yeah.
Like I get it. Yeah, for doing nothing, that's
For
fine.
doing nothing. For
but you win the
$1 on
you
the
win the
ticket.
lottery for
Yeah.
$2 billion, and they give you end up with
I'm
400 million. Like what? Like yo, that shit just does not add up. That
I'm
math
rich,
it's just
but
hold on,
I'm upset about it.
The math is
It
fucked.
does when you do the math, but when you look
We
at
don't
it
like
up
this.
front,
Isn't a math pod. We're not a math pod, John.
I feel you. I feel you.
I would in that would be the only reason why I take the
I'd be like,
payments,
yo, imagine if I won that shit and I come back, John, I'm like, yo, these motherfuckers only gave me $4 million, 400 mil. That's it. You're like, what?
No, I'd still.
Thought you were getting $1 billion, son.
I would still be heated. I get it. I get I understand. It's just like, yo, you did that shit for nothing. You got it for free. Like, but
Gucci
but
now?
it's just like, yo, well,
It's the principle.
come on.
It's the principle.
I'll at least be like, yo, wait, hold on. Explain this to me because I won $2 billion. Yeah. However, I'm only getting 400 million.
Me and my lawyer are having a conversation.
I just really need to understand what you are telling me right now.
I need a PowerPoint presentation on why I don't have my $1 billion. Why I'm not a billionaire.
Yeah, break it down. Break it down for me.
Break it down for me.
The dude that sold the ticket, they get $1 million.
Stop it.
Nice.
Like the dude that worked the counter, or like the company,
station.
like
the owner of the gas station.
See, fuck that. I don't give a fuck about that. But like, I thought if it was the fucking bullshit ass like midnight clerk that
the dude
gave
that
this
just
dude,
pressed one button on the fucking machine.
That's why I was so pumped, bro. I was like, yo, that's wild. My man hit the jackpot too. It's fire.
That's funny.
My mom was telling me about someone that she knows who it was their thing. Like they would buy a bunch of scratch off tickets and then they would buy and then they would give one to the person, the cashier or whatever, but they would do this all the time. All the time. Found it. He handed the person, scratch off ticket and does this all the time. Come to find out that he went back there to purchase his tickets as he normally would. And that the person who would normally serve him was not working anymore there.
I wonder where they went.
He dug, and he found out that the scratch off that he gave him hit like
$50K,
something wild. something
enough to quit your job.
Something wild enough to where, they quit their job and then they moved the fuck on, and his wife was furious with him.
You're done giving away lotto tickets, James.
Yeah, because if this is a routine, and I try to tell that shit to my mom all the time because she's constantly buying lotto tickets. I'm like, Mom, how much have you spent in lotto tickets this past year? How much do you spend a day on lotto? Oh, I don't know, like $4 or $5. Okay, that's in a day. Do you do this every day? Do you do this every day? Yeah, almost every day. And I like brought out the math. I was like, how much have you actually won? Well, the one time I won $5,000, I was just like, yeah, but you do this every single day for X amount of time. And those $5,000 barely scratch the surface of what you've spent. And she was not trying to hear me out on that shit.
That's how I am with my DraftKings and my fantasy duel and my fucking mobile gambling, bro. Like, I feel like I come up when I hit that, like,
nobody want to hear
hundo.
That negativity.
Right. But I don't know how many I lost. I don't want to know how much money I lost.
You can see that shit on those apps.
Oh, no, I absolutely could look it up if I wanted to. I don't want to. No.
Yeah, I feel you.
I could look up my bank account. I could look at my statements and see what was pulled out. But when you hit those big ones, it makes it all worth it at that point. So I'm not going to give your mom any shit. Let her do her thing, son.
No. Yeah. That's why, but she's constant. The only reason why I give her shit is because literally she's one of those people that every time she sees me, she'll see like every sequence of numbers. Like right there, we have the clock.
Oh, yeah.
740. That's a great number. You should play that number. And it's just like, Mom,
I've never understood
she'll text
what that means.
Yeah,
because she doesn't.
It's a good number. Why is that a good number? Like what?
Because she was looking at it at that time and it looked like a good number. That's it.
She imagined it coming up in the lotto and hitting for Mad Bread, and that's what makes it a good number.
It just stuck out to her, and she's like, oh. And the amount of times that she calls me and she goes, Your birthday came out.
Your birthday came. Did you play it?
No. And I'm like, did you play? I'm like, Mom, no, I have not been playing my birthday
for play your birthday?
every day for Lord knows how long so that it can hit today. And what do you mean by my birthday? Do you mean 9/10? Do you mean 091? Do you mean 983?
6 digits?
Do you mean like what?
8
like,
digits? Yeah.
What sequence of numbers because she does that shit too.
All of those.
Where she'll,
all of those.
Yeah, where she goes, where it could have been any of the, or just 1983.
Or the what number day of the year it was. Like you were born on the 256th day of the year, and that 256 just came up.
But she'll say that, and like I'll look at the number, and it's any one of the sequences there. But she just calls me and says, "Your birthday came out."
Yeah. Because like it happened, she could pluck it out of the numbers that came up. She's like, "Oh, I see your birthday in those numbers that came up."
Your birthday came out.
Did you play it?
You should have played it. See, I tell you to play it all the
Fucking
time.
up.
Mom, you tell me to play everybody's birthday, like every
And if
day.
you did, you might win a little bread every now and then.
Every now and then.
Every now and then. You have for like $10, $15. You never know, son.
Yep.
Shit could change your life.
And then she'll be the first one. Oh, you played and you won? So what's my cut?
What's my cut? What do I get? I told you those are good numbers. What the fuck do I get?
I gave birth to you.
You got,
Yeah.
that's always a
suffered.
fallback. That's always a fallback. You
And
can't
it's
argue
facts.
that one.
No,
though.
you can't. That's
argue
true,
that one.
son.
It's like, yes, you did.
I wiped your ass when you were a little baby and you couldn't do shit.
If it wasn't for your vagina, I would not be here.
Nah.
Okay. Moving on. We briefly talked last week about Twitter and Elon Musk and all the fucking debacle. Debacle continues over at Twitter with Elon Musk's final acquisition of the Twitter company. Let's see. What are some of the things that have happened? First off, well, he's pretty much settled on the $8. It's no longer $20 to get the verification check. Twitter Blue is going to be $8, and you'll get verified if you pay the $8, which I still think is kind of weird. I'm not verified. I'm not crying over it or anything like a lot of these journalists and celebrities are, but it seems like what he's pushing for is for everyone to be verified, right? Like the idea is they want
anyone could do
to
this.
get as many people to get verified. He said that verified comments, verified posts and tweets will get higher results in searches, and when you tap on a tweet, you'll see replies from verified people higher. So it's kind of like forcing people to pay, which in turn means Twitter's no longer going to be free. Like, I mean, it's free to use, but if you're not paying for it, you're just kind of anonymous, right? Like no one will believe you. They'll think you're a bot, which is kind of bullshit.
In the way that you and I use it, where it's almost strictly for a news or informational purpose, like what the fuck does that matter,
only,
though, right?
Yeah, if you're a reader only, it doesn't matter. But if you're a person that likes to get involved in the conversation, then you have to pay.
If you want to be recognized for getting involved in the conversation, like if you want your tweets to be, highlighted and up at the front and get likes and all that shit and make you feel good.
If not everyone, but if most of the people most of the people that are involved in a conversation are verified paid people, then when you go on a tweet that's got 400 replies or some shit, right? And you're going through and reading the replies. I mean, you're basically not gonna scroll long unless you're a doom scroller. You're not gonna scroll long enough through it to get to people that don't have check marks. So it's not necessarily, at least for me, I don't think it's so much about being recognized for your reply and being screenshot by someone else for saying something clever. But I mean, it's just about like, well, what's the point of replying at all if no one's ever going to see this and no one's ever going to reply to my comment? Like, no one's going to see what the hell I wrote because it's all the way at the fucking bottom of this list. Then why even bother commenting at all? I mean, Twitter is both a place to be a creator and to, try to become famous, but it's also just a place to have community and conversation. And if you're not having any conversation with them and no one's responding to you, then it's like, why be here? And if I want to have conversation, then now I got to pay.
But I mean, is that really
it's
any different?
sus.
Is that any different than Twitter now? Because Twitter, and we always talked about this, it's kind of like yelling something into the void unless you have, 100,000
I talk
followers.
to people all the time on Twitter.
And like I'll have, I'll comment and, there will be some sort of back and forth, but like it's not.
Right.
It's not on like an Instagram level where I could comment something on a page and I wake up and there's 5,000 likes on it. Like that's not how Twitter works. At least the Twitter that I use and like what I use it for. I feel like that verification, like if the goal is to get everyone verified, what's the difference between having everyone verified and maybe 1% of Twitter verified? Do you know what I'm saying? Like we can comment, we could still converse. Like it seems weird to me that it's anything other than a money grab for people that feel like they need
it's 100% a money
on
grab.
Twitter. Oh no, it's definitely a money grab, but I feel like it's catering towards the people that need validation on Twitter. Like, so you're paying $8 a month so that people see you, people comment to you, that your voice has been heard. And I don't know that a lot of people use Twitter for that.
But I mean, so imagine if, like what you just said, right? You post a comment on Instagram and you wake up to 5,000 likes to that comment. Imagine if no one saw your comment because you weren't verified on Instagram.
I mean, that's Twitter now, though. Like, I could easily, I could
don't think
comment.
so.
I mean, it's not gonna. You get 5,000 likes for a tweet. You've commented
I've never
something
gotten
where you
5,000
just
likes for anything on any social platform. So it doesn't matter.
You gotta step your game up. Then. But
I'm
like
I'm not as witty as you, apparently.
Sure. No, this is not. I'm not like.
But I do wake up to
Instagram master,
20, 25, 30 likes on some tweets and shit.
And that's damn good for Twitter. Like you wake up to that. Like if you get that kind of interaction on Twitter, that's pretty fucking good as far as I'm concerned.
Honestly, for me, I never, because I'm not used to using Twitter and I'm still new to Twitter.
Yeah.
I pay it no mind. So, and it's because I jumped on extremely late.
Sure.
So I still don't understand Twitter. I have like anything that I put up, the only person that would possibly like it is Jonni and like one other person, because I don't have a follow. And that's what I was saying in last week's episode when we talked about this check, is I can see the benefit in it for like, let's say the Insensitive Culture Twitter account, where that's still fairly new. You know what I mean? Same shit.
Yeah.
Right? No one sees it. But with that $8, if it guarantees that our tweets go out to a certain, to a certain amount of people,
right,
like guaranteed, then I'd be more interested in that on a business standpoint for our joint
business
account.
Yeah, a business and brand. It's almost you almost have to sign up for this
if you have a Twitter, and you have any sort of
but that's what I'm
brand.
saying. But nowhere does it say that you will reach X amount of people for doing this.
No, there's no guarantees. No.
Yeah, there's no guarantees. They're pretty much just saying, like, literally, it's just the blue check mark next to your name for $8, and that's it.
Pretty much.
And
at this point, that's the only thing that they've added.
The only draw.
Yeah.
That and you can edit your tweets. That's about it.
And that's then
just kind of cool.
Just from all of the controversy from many people, that is a huge added bonus to that, because you could not do that before.
That is big. But I mean, it'll be rolled out to everyone eventually. I think that's more of like a trial right now with the blue check mark, the Twitter blue.
I don't know. Not anymore.
Yeah, but
I would have agreed with you 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But now I think editing tweets might forever be an $8 feature. Because one of the other things that Elon came out with and said that is ever since basically he took over the company, according to him, because of activists, even though we all know it's really because everyone's scared what the fuck he's going to do, advertisement revenue is way down, way down. A bunch of major brands have paused advertising on Twitter, and so this is the only way that they can possibly make money is by charging people to use the service.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Wild stuff.
It's very wild.
And then let's see. He continued controversy continued with Twitter this week when so one of the in the since Musk took over, one of the big things that people have started doing as a joke is to change their name and profile photo to his profile photo and changing their name to Elon Musk. And it's a pretty common thing on Twitter to change your name. Your handle is your handle, but the name that shows up, it's pretty common to change that. I think it's like every 14 days or so you get to change your name on Twitter. And it's always been against the terms of service to impersonate someone else, like to just change your name to someone else. But that's been the really popular thing to do. Is a bunch of people have been changing their name to Elon Musk using his profile ID and then tweeting some wild ass shit, either about like Jeffrey Epstein or Ghislaine Maxwell, or tweeting shit about just kind of jokes, and so because it's sparking debate because he's gone hard after these specific people that have been impersonating him. And so he's permanently suspended the accounts. He said that previously, they would give you a warning. But now they're no longer giving you a warning. They're giving you notice now that if you don't put parody or something like that in your name, or like not, or the fake, like kind of like fake Steve Jobs or whatever. If you don't put that in there, then your account will be permanently suspended as soon as it's found. So they've suspended some pretty big accounts like Kathy Griffin, Ethan Klein's account got permanently suspended
Fuck
from
Ethan
H3H3. I knew Dave was going to say that. I'm trying to think of who else. I'll try to see if I find some other people that have been permanently suspended. I think Valerie Bertinelli.
Bertinelli.
I don't know why that one just popped up on
Twitter
this.
Anyway, that's weird.
Yeah, I don't think so. But yeah, there's been a bunch of people are saying that it only took 9 days for Musk to break Twitter and to get owned by his own people, because like he took before taking ownership, he said comedy should be legal on Twitter. Then when he bought it, he said comedy is now legal on Twitter. And then, 9 days later, he's like, anyone creating parody accounts that don't say that they're parody accounts are permanently banned.
Yeah.
Not that kind of parody.
Not that kind of comedy, you guys.
Yeah.
No, you don't. You freedom of speech. That's not what I meant by that.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Not that kind of freedom of speech.
No. It's well, I don't know if you're gonna dig deeper into this Twitter whole rabbit hole, but it's also very hilarious that he fired a bunch of fucking people, and then he's coming back
asked
like
them to come back.
Actually, yeah, it was a mistake that we fired you. You want to come back? You want to come back to Twitter?
I wonder what Twitter pays though. You think it's worth going back? Did a lot of those people be like, "All right, shit, my job's back"?
I guess it depends. I guess it depends on your role.
Of people.
Yeah.
A handful of people, but there is a bunch of people that are just like, nah, I don't know what the fuck. Like, you just fired me. Like, the job security that I felt I had is no longer there.
I was talking to one of our boys, big listener to the show, and he was telling me, he was like, yeah, if that would have happened to me, and it was like, it's slightly dependent, right? Because apparently there's some stories of people who were fired and then reach back out like, oops, that was a mistake, we didn't mean to fire you. And then there's other people who were fired, and then they were like, oops, we realized we can't do this job without you, so we want you to come back. If that's me, like, we're negotiating now.
We're negotiating.
Yeah,
we're
hell
going
the
back
fuck
to the
yeah.
table,
Like, oh,
son.
word, you can't do this without me? Let me tell you how this is going to go.
Yeah,
Let's get another 100 racks. Let's get another 100,000 shares. Like, we're going hard. You need me to get this done? Let's get this done. Yeah, fuck it.
I'm being malicious at that point. Like, it's
you should.
Game over.
You should.
Hell yeah.
But that's just hilarious. Oh, we let you go.
Actually, I got something.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't have done that. We shouldn't have done that.
So about that.
Want to come back?
Yeah, I'm pretending I got something lined up
that
for like
email.
30 times what I was making. Be like, can you match this or not?
Yeah,
Word.
That's hilarious. Anything else, Johnny?
Yeah, last story. If you're walking in the parks, specifically around Colorado, the National Park Service wants you to know that you should not lick the toads. Stop licking toads.
I've read
Colorado
people are licking toads, bro.
How hard
to try to
these
get
toads
psychedelic DMT.
Yeah, these toads release a psychedelic drug, like as a defense mechanism.
Yeah.
I wonder how hard these people trip, because like I've tripped super hard, and I wonder, just licking the back of a toad.
Well, they said
like
it's DMT.
So apparently,
is it like
actually,
a natural DMT or like what?
It's a natural DMT, and these are the it's like a Sonoran desert toad. Is the toad that has been they milk them for the to get the DMT.
Fuck yeah.
But apparently, like licking the back of the toad is a myth. If you lick the back of the toad. Of this toad, you will pretty much just get sick or possibly die.
Shit.
You have to snort it, smoke it, or inhale DMT in order to get the psychedelic hallucinogenic effects of it. So yeah,
What if you just
don't lick the
ate a
fucking
toad?
toads, man.
What if you just ate it? Like, because
If you
there's got to
just
be
ate
some
it?
glands and
Yeah.
sacks of stuff in there that
It's
like
probably fucking be gross as
hold
hell.
the DMT. I mean, it would, but would you trip balls?
Maybe.
Because I mean, mushrooms are
just
gross
do-
as hell, and we still eat them shit.
Just do
Would
shrooms like
you-
a normal person is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Would you really just like eat a raw frog? Because I'd imagine those sacks and everything that you're talking about would probably take away from it if you cooked it.
Yeah.
So you're eating
I
raw
only
frog just
eat-
for a high.
I only get my
Yeah.
meat from Wegmans. I'm
Just
not
to
eating
get-
raw frog
I know.
anywhere,
Yeah.
son.
I'm just trying to entertain your
Yeah,
logic
no,
here.
no,
What
that's-
you were saying. No, it's not worth it at that point.
I'm gonna get
And
that frog though, and I'm gonna try and get
But
that shit
I'm-
out so I can snort it.
I'm also not a drug person, so picking up one of these fucking frogs and licking it is also not a thing that would be on my fucking mind. Like I'm like, I don't want to fucking pick up this fucking frog.
But if you, let's say you were stranded in
I
the
don't want to pick
desert,
up any frog.
you had nothing going on, and you just see one of these frogs hopping by, and you're bored. You're like, let me just fucking trip some balls.
Let me
off.
just
I was
lick the
stranded.
just lick the
Be
bitch.
hard
If
enough
I
to
was
catch the
stranded
motherfucker.
in the desert, bored, the last thing I'm thinking about
Trying to
is
trip
tripping
balls.
balls.
But I'm saying,
Like,
like,
yo, I'm hungry.
you could be
I
about
might
to-
eat
you
the
could be
fucking
about to
frog,
die.
but not because.
But then you're tripping
I
balls
might be
if
tripping.
you eat that motherfucking frog, son. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I
And
guess.
circle back. We all go back.
I mean, I'm cooking that
guess.
bitch though. I'm not eating them raw. Hell no.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Frog
saying.
legs?
Like I might
Use
eat the
some-
frog because I'm hungry.
Can y'all start a fire?
yeah.
Y'all know how to start
And if
a
I
fire?
start tripping balls, I'd be like, "Oh, this is a bonus."
From rocks and
If I
flint,
was-
y'all could start a fire
If
up.
I was in the fucking stuck in the fucking forest or the desert,
it
You'd
out,
learn.
bro. I
You'd
figure it
learn
out.
like
figure
Yeah,
that
I
shit.
figure it out.
I
Fucking
watched
Tom
enough
Hanks.
fucking movies to figure that shit out. Exactly.
Figure it
It'd
out,
be
bro.
just like Castaway.
Yeah.
It'd take me 35 fucking 100 tries, but eventually I'll be jumping up and down like his ass as well. Like,
I have created fire.
Yeah.
That's the best part of that movie.
Oh man. Yeah. Don't lick the fucking toads.
No licking.
don't lick
toads.
the fucking
Just
toads. Do shrooms
eat
like a
some
normal
acid.
person.
Smoke some DMT.
Facts.
Do what you got to do.
Do what you got to do.
You know what?
Do
Lick
what you
them
gotta do.
toads. I don't give a fuck.
Lick
get
them
'em.
toads.
Lick them toads.
All right. Hollywood. All right, we have quite a bit of news to jump into in Hollywood.
Just rattle it off, son. Rattle it off.
Yeah,
Let's
so
go bang down the list.
Obviously, we knew we know that Henry Cavill is coming back as Superman in the DC universe after James Gunn took over and all of this stuff, and which we know that that's going to set off a bunch of things that DC has in store for us. So there are some rumors going around that Ben Affleck has reportedly signed a new Batman contract to appear in multiple DCEU projects.
Interesting.
How do you feel about Ben Affleck possibly coming back as Batman for?
Let's fucking go.
I fucked with it.
Yeah,
I enjoyed
had no
it.
problem. I had
cool
no
with
problem
it.
with
I don't
the
give a fuck.
Ben Affleck Batman.
Yeah, I had no
I don't
problem
want
with that either.
Standalone. Don't give me a standalone Affleck movie.
Right.
I
No.
have
Give me at least a
problem with
couple
him
of Justice League
appearing.
members. Do some team ups.
Yeah.
And that's been another rumor. That's been another rumor because Jason Momoa came out and said that that
Some
he's
good news that
working with James Gunn on that stuff, and he didn't really elaborate, but there's a lot of rumors that Justice League sequel is moving forward, and they're going to be doing stuff like that. So there's a lot of promising DC stuff coming out, and I think he also hinted at a secret project, and then James. Gunn
we got
tweeted,
Martian Manhunter,
half-ass picture,
and Green Lantern to introduce.
Right. Well, the first project so far that have that they possibly hinted at was Lobo, and that was James Gunn hinting
Fuck
at
is
that.
Lobo?
It's another. It's one of the
James
one
Gunn
of the
obscure
characters. Yeah.
I mean,
But
sure,
yeah, you're
I
right.
guess.
You're right. Though, like
Who the fuck was Peacemaker?
I mean, I guess Martian
You know what I'm saying?
Manhunter is
Like,
kind
I
of
did fuck with
obscure.
it. Yeah, I did fuck with Peacemaker.
Hell yeah.
Yes, Martian, and we
Oh,
had a
100%.
Martian Manhunter hired. Like it was.
Yeah.
An actor was cast as him, and I think that was just
Right.
removed from the movie, but it was thrown back into the Snyder cut, right? All right, yeah. So
Right.
I don't know if it has to do anything with Snyder. There are rumors that Snyder might be involved now that James Gunn is there, but I don't know. I have no idea what's going on. But this is the biggest news is that Ben Affleck, or at least the biggest rumor, is that Ben Affleck has officially signed contracts for multiple DCEU movies.
I'm with it.
And I'm with it. I fucked with his Batman hard. It's just gonna be
I fucked with it. I
again
don't know
kind of
about
crazy.
hard, but
I did fuck with his Batman hard. The first time, the first movie, the
I fucked
first
with his
Justice
Bruce Wayne.
I fucked with his Bruce Wayne, but I like the brutality of his Batman in the first in the Justice League movie.
Batman versus Superman.
Was that BVS?
That was before
Okay.
Justice League. Yeah, BVS was before.
Yeah. I fucked with his character. That story I was not a fan of. The story arc of that movie I was not a fan of. But yes, I fucked with his Bruce Wayne and the brutality of that Batman. Those are the things that I enjoyed.
Yeah.
And then the whole Martha thing. Anyway, we're not going to get on.
I was
that.
gonna say
Martha. So we're not going to get into that. But as far as his performance, I thought that was good. I fucked with him.
Yeah.
And I was actually excited before the Batman came out with the Matt Reeves Batman and all that, all the changes that we've seen. And Rob Pattinson, he was originally supposed to direct and write that movie. And I fucked with the movies that he's written and directed in the past. So,
And imagine you're Ben Affleck. All you have to worry about is clapping J-Lo's cheeks and making Batman movies.
yeah, that's it.
Like that's your life, dog. Yeah. That's can we
a
bring
bad
one for the
life.
fans? That's not a bad life at all.
bad life.
That's not a bad life at all.
Yeah, that's not. All right. So,
As long as
but that's
they
a dope
keep-
rumor.
The Matt Reeves Batverse alone and
Separate,
the Joker
yeah.
Yeah, it is.
alone.
Say what?
I'm good with
from my understanding. From my understanding, yeah, those are going to be all different. Even though obviously they're all DC, they're all different entities.
At what point does DC have to focus and sort of rein it all in the vein, or do they? Is this even a question? They can keep their separate things going and do their thing. They don't have to be that Marvel. They don't have to be that MCU where if something gets released, it's fucking canon, bro. Like, this is it. This is official. There's something that's good about that. I like that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I like the different avenues that DC can take. Like, that's tough. Like, if you had to pick one, you have your fractured DC, which is still putting out this fractured fire content, or you have your MCU that's this coherent, story-driven.
It doesn't have to be
art.
that. Yeah.
It doesn't have to be that, but which would you prefer?
I like the breakup. I like the breakup in the content. I like the fact that I think that's why Marvel is under a lot of scrutiny from past fans, current fans, and stuff like that, is because we've gotten to a point where, again, they're trying shit out with new characters, and again, I still believe that it's all going to come together. But they're trying shit out. They're doing shows, and they're expecting everything to hit, everything to correlate with one. Like, it just removes some of that to a degree.
So if you woke up tomorrow and the MCU was no more, gone, all we had were DC movies and that fractured universe. We got the Snyder and James Gunn and what they're doing, and Reeves and Joker and all that shit. Like, you would be content with just that?
No. I'm saying that there's a place for that. Marvel has already. I'm saying,
which would Wok choose?
Why do I have to choose?
I just want to know. I want to know which do you prefer? Because you have to prefer one over the other, even if it's just a little bit.
If I had to choose something, I enjoy the continuity stuff
because we need that continuity. They have us so bad with that continuity.
But Marvel started that shit, and prior to Marvel starting that shit, that wasn't something like that was just something that was cool.
Everything was
for a sequel or two.
Then.
Yeah, it was cool for a sequel or two, and then that's it. Like,
but you don't want to go back
to what?
To just fractured bullshit.
No, I'm saying that Marvel already has the continuity stuff, and that is what they put their bank on. Mm-hmm. What I'm happy about is the fact that what I've been preaching this entire time is DC needs to stop fucking trying to copy Marvel. So I'm happy that, they're trying to put together shit after everything was fucked up by the previous DC heads or whatever. But they're keeping the things that were already gold. Mm-hmm. And they're keeping them in their own fucking worlds, and those worlds don't have to collide, even though they're the same characters and whatnot. But they all have their own tone, their own feeling, their own continuity. Not every single thing that they come out with has to connect.
Sure.
We just need to know, like, this connects to this world, and then that's it.
We just need to know what connects to what.
So we have some of that continuity, but it doesn't have to span 10 fucking years.
But at the end of the day, if you woke up tomorrow,
at the end of the day, if I woke up tomorrow, right, and or at the end of the day, if we got 3 Batman movies of the Batman, mm-hmm. right, maybe some TV shows, a couple TV shows, whatever, but in totality, everything came up to 3. I'm good with that. And then but we still have the Justice League saga that's going on in a different way, because that's comic book shit too.
That is comic book shit for sure.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't feel like I have to choose one or the other.
You don't have
to. We like some continuity. We like continuity,
we do.
But I like one-offs too.
Yeah. I'm just curious which you prefer, because they're both going. It seems like they're taking 2 different avenues.
But it depends on the movie. It depends on, like, what was a one-off movie that like
Joker.
Like Shazam. I feel like Shazam was a one-off DC.
Not necessarily, because
there's another one coming out. But at the time, it was. I mean, he wasn't in Justice League.
It felt like it was.
It was,
it's
though.
DCEU, though. Yeah, it is.
He wasn't in the Justice League, but Superman showed up at the end of the movie.
For sure. No, I mean, they're tied together. But like, if you just watched Shazam separately. He has nothing to do with the Justice League, right?
Yeah, agreed, but it's still part of the continuity. Like, it's kind of like fucking Eternals in MCU.
Where we only see them in that one movie. It's still constant. We'll see them at some point.
It's not like Joker or the Batman that are completely separate, a totally alternate world, Earth, universe. I don't know how DC talks
well, right.
about
That's
it,
kind of what I'm saying. Whereas like DC has their separate, fractured, nothing's going to cross over. And everything in Marvel is crossing over at some point. What's the preference there? Do you like the fractured, or do you want everything to mingle together, even if you're not feeling everything as much as everything else? Do you like the fact?
Do we need? I like the continuity if we're doing a few like Batman movies or whatever, like kind of how The Dark Knight went on. It was 3 movies. Mm-hmm. I like that kind of continuity where we're throwing in all kinds of shows and all these other things, which and not for nothing, but that's what's happening with the Batman. They've but their continuity is more based on the villains. So we're gonna get a bunch of villain movies and shows that are set in this world, but I think that's expanding the world, but it's not. I think even that is a different approach because we're seeing a little bit more into this world and then coming together in the main movie. So if like as long as it's a well thought out plan, I don't have a preference on one or the other. It doesn't really matter to me as long as it's completely thought out.
Okay, I can.
So if it's a one off, like if the Joker, if Joker came out and that was the end product, I'm happy with that.
Just that.
That's it. We don't have to elaborate anymore. But the Batman, they're explaining how it's going to be its own world and how they're going to expand that. I'm down for that too.
I mean, that's kind of what ended up happening with the Joker too. Like it started as a one-off, but then they decided to make it into more of a.
It's going to be a trilogy. They're saying
trilogy universe of its own type thing.
Yeah, but I can.
I don't. It's hard to say. Like if I only had to choose one or the other, I think I've been enamored with what Marvel did. I think I think it takes more balls to try to do that. I think it was crazy when I guess the Hulk came out and we were like, that's when like there was post-credit scenes and you're like, holy shit, these like movies have to do with each other that are not actually involved with each other in the movie. You know what I mean? Like the main part of the movie didn't have RDJ in it, right? Like
yeah.
It didn't have Iron Man. It did, when you saw Thor, it didn't have Iron Man in the first movie, right? Like, but you knew that these were all building up to something big that was the first Avengers movie. I think that was fucking
special.
Like, obviously, it was super special. It was groundbreaking at the time. And I, now that it just continues and continues and continues, I do like it. There's a part of it that's annoying where, now you got to watch fucking She-Hulk.
Everything
to make sure. But at the same time, like, I like it. Like, I think,
I like it.
I only
we got our tickets for Black Panther too. Yeah.
If there was, speaking of watching this week, but, if I only had to go with one or the other, I would prefer everything was one giant universe that I could track all the way throughout.
Same.
Yeah, and like I said, it's like I'm welcome. I'm welcome to that. I'm welcome to that.
Yeah,
I love it. It's great when it's done correctly.
Sure.
But if it's a one-off, I'm happy with that too, as long as it
for
was
sure.
done correctly.
Yeah.
You
We
know,
can all appreciate a good film.
right?
Absolutely.
Yes, but if I could only choose one or the other,
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go with extended universes.
We have to at this
Think so?
point. We're so invested. Yeah. That's
If I had it,
100%
if
what
I had
would
it,
choose.
if it really came down to me having to choose one or the other, I mean, fuck. Like the only real reason why I say that is because I've seen like
you
Infinity
you
War
love
and
the Joker.
Endgame and stuff like that. No, it's because I've seen what the mashups could be, what it could lead up to. But I also remember the fucking amazing times that I had watching like Blade when I was a kid, or
Sure,
fucking,
but imagine if like the shit
Batman
that
1 or
happened
2
in
and-
Blade was still
relevant.
today. Like that would be dope. Which is why I'm going that route. Because
guess,
I'm like, if everything was still part of, it's just if you're a comic book reader and a nerd, then it doesn't matter. Like you're saying, like it doesn't matter at all, and you can go either route, and you probably prefer not connected universes. But when we're talking, especially in the film world, and especially dealing with larger audiences and mass market, like it's weird to fucking explain to my girl just the difference between all the freaking Spider-Men that are currently active, and the fact that the Spider-Verse stuff is different than the Spider-Man in the MCU,
Right.
and just what I mean, like just all of that, like just for the casual, for the benefit of the casual watcher, I think it's way better that everything is connected than
I
to
think it's the
constantly
opposite.
to constantly reboot something every 6 years, and then it's a whole nother universe, and then it's like, wait a minute, I thought he did. Oh no, but that was the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. He's the one that did that. That's just it gets things a little bit more confusing when it's that way. Even though yes, it can be hard to track everything 20 years previous. I don't think it's necessary in order to enjoy the film, but I think it's at least less confusing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyways,
We can
moving
move
on.
the fuck we can move the fuck on. All right. So then, just because this like we're just gonna keep running in circles.
That's true.
So another crazy thing. Oh, big surprise here. Quentin Tarantino has come out and said he has zero interest in directing a Marvel or DC film.
Thank the friggin' Lord.
I know.
Right.
He says, you have to be a hired hand to do those. I'm not a hired hand. I am not looking for a job. Now, the reason why I brought this one up is because obviously we've seen a bunch of directors
That were hired hands that came up doing exactly that.
Exactly. So yes, I'm so happy that you are Quentin Tarantino and you are an acclaimed director. However, if you were not, and you were looking for your way to, you've worked on some pieces you're proud of, but you are not a main name in Hollywood, you would be singing a fucking whole different tune.
Yeah, I guarantee you, if he was working back at that movie store back in 1989,
he would
if
have a
someone
great
said, "Hey,
idea
do you
for
want to
this."
direct this Marvel movie?" he would say, "Abso-fucking-lutely, I do."
Yep.
And he did. He was in talks to direct mad comic book movies throughout the 90s that never came to fruition. So, as much as I love Tarantino, that's a shitty thing to say, and I don't agree with that.
And
at
it's
all.
not
And
just him, though. Obviously, we've heard it all.
Yeah, for sure. And I understand the sentiment. I understand that it's sort of like this big, massive cog that you can sort of plug directors in. I mean, the story's there, the characters are there. You're not really doing a whole lot of creating, is what he's saying. You need a body to put in there to say, yeah, you stand here when we fucking film this. Like, I think that's what he's saying. And although I don't agree with that, I don't think that's what Taika did when he was filming Ragnarok. Like, nobody could have stepped in and done Ragnarok like Taika did. We fucking love Taika. But like I understand the sentiment. I don't think he said it properly.
Yeah.
But I also don't agree with the statement that he said, because that's sort of, I feel like it's oversimplifying what these young, hungry directors are trying to achieve.
These people, these directors, these acclaimed directors are just attacking something that's new. And that shit is happening. I mean, that shit happens in every genre, every form of creation. But it's especially like how quickly they forget when they were starting and
when
maybe
they were hungry.
When they were hungry. And they got an opportunity to do something that that they figured, oh, maybe I would not be able to do this.
They're on their high horse
this.
for sure.
Yeah,
Tarantino,
for sure.
Scorsese, all those dudes that
Cameron,
that
James Cameron.
that talk down on these movies. Yeah, they're in another world. They're not like us. They're different, basically. Right. Like they, like when you ask Bill Gates how much a gallon of milk costs, he doesn't fucking know. Like,
no,
they don't know what it's like to still have that drive.
Right.
I feel like,
and I do understand that movies are just not the same anymore.
Right.
They're not. It was a completely different way of doing things back in the day. Now, with Marvel and everything that they've built, it's an easy way to shoot you into the spotlight if what you do it well.
Right.
And who would not take that opportunity other than someone who's already established it, their career long before that. So, I agree. I love Quentin Tarantino. I love his movies and everything, but I thought it's just like, in all honesty, directors, you OG directors, y'all just need to shut the fuck up and let these kids, or well, not even kids, because they're grown ass fucking adults, but just let these younger directors who are just looking for their shot to be a bigger named. Look at fucking Ryan Coogler, I like his movies that he's done outside of.
And a lot of the work he's got probably came off of what he did with Black Panther. Like, this
absolutely.
dude knows what the fuck he's doing.
I went and saw Fruitvale Station because of, I saw, the fact that he was directing Black Panther. Mm-hmm. That was great. Mm-hmm. I had to go back and I saw, he has another movie with, Michael B. Jordan. Let me go check that out. And, that's how it is.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Russo brothers, how we just saw The Gray Man, and awesome action movie.
Yeah. Gray Man was awesome.
Yeah. Cherry. That was, I really enjoyed that movie.
Tom Holland, yeah.
But we wouldn't have,
that one.
We would not have given these movies the time of day, or even we may have watched it on an off chance, but we wouldn't have made an effort until we saw, the Russo brothers, they directed, Captain America and Winter Soldier.
It's the whole reason this
Infinity
is the Taika
War.
pod,
Yeah,
because of Ragnarok. Like, that was at least one of my, that and Jojo Rabbit. Like, those two were, and I probably wouldn't have watched Jojo Rabbit if it weren't for Ragnarok, dude. If I didn't know, this director knows what he's doing. Let me give this a shot.
Right. So we're getting, it's just like, stop the hate, man. Now you're just looking like old, bitter men.
Yeah. And that's the same with any, and just like the rap game, these OG rappers talking about the young rappers that are doing it wrong or not doing it like they did it. Yeah. Any avenue like that where there's, old heads and young kids, they're always clashing.
Yep. Shit changes. Yeah. Shit changes.
And it's gotta.
All right, so one of the biggest shocks to, at least to me, but apparently the internet as a whole, or TV viewers as a whole, is the fact that Westworld has been canceled after 4 seasons.
Some bullshit.
That's wild. That is.
Yeah, something happened at HBO.
Something had to have.
Jonni and I had this conversation at some point within the last few months or so, where we were talking about, like, are they going to have a last season? And I was fairly confident that, you know what, like, Westworld did good by HBO, and like, you know, when times were tough, you know, new seasons of Westworld would pull in some viewers. And, and I thought, you know, they would give them the benefit of the doubt. They've been doing, you know, they're down with Jonathan Nolan and Lisa Joy. I thought, you know, in good faith that, you know, we'll say, hey, we'll give you your send off, which is what a lot of networks do with shows like that are got one more in them and want to see them go out right. And that was a shock to me, I think, when I saw that on Twitter. And even
all of us.
Yeah, even Jeffrey Wright, like dude that plays Bernard, was like tweeting about it, you know, after it was announced, and he basically said, hey, you know, this was we had a good run. I loved every second of it. I loved everybody I worked with, like giving it its props and just sort of moving on, dude. Like it's tough because that's a story that I feel like deserved to be wrapped up. As much as we've invested in it, as much wildness as, you know, went into that writing there. And we saw Jonathan and Lisa at Comic-Con doing the panel there, and the dude asked the question about new season of Westworld, and you know, Nolan gave that standard answer, we're in negotiations or something along those lines. And, you know, it sounded like, oh, that's, you know, they can't talk about it. They're figuring out the financials and that sort of thing. So I thought it was all but fucking written and filmed, and that's not the case. And that fucking sucks, dude.
I'm actually looking at, I've been trying to find the right stats and stuff to see like what the viewership was like, and it did look like it was, you know, as far as by like millions, 1.82.
Yeah, that looks bad. That bar graph you're looking at, bro, that's not a direction you want your bar graph to be going in.
Let's see, total viewers in millions. So season 1 came in at 1.82 million.
Just per episode.
This is total viewers in millions.
Okay.
Season 2 went down 1.57. Season 3 down to 0.81. And then season 4 down 0.35.
I get it. It was getting very convoluted as these seasons were going on, and I remember
it was
still like you're you know, you're in it.
It's just one of those things. I feel like you gotta finish it.
Yeah, exactly. Like I feel like the fans deserve to finish. The crew, the cast, you know, everybody. I feel like deserved, and you know, I don't know. I'm not any sort of big wig at HBO. I don't have any sort of call.
It's going to be another Deadwood situation.
We think they'll get a movie? You think they'll get something down the line to wrap it up?
I don't know. I'm just saying, like, for years, you know, we never got an ending in Deadwood, right? And so it's like that.
And then all of a sudden they're like, hey.
And then it would be great if they did hit us off with, you know, a final movie or a final season.
Something.
But, you know, 10 years from now, I don't know. I don't want to wait 10 years for the fucking...
I don't remember
what the hell happened in Westworld. Like, it's way more convoluted than Deadwood.
Oh, Deadwood was super simple. Like, you know, it didn't get any more simple than those times. And this is the exact opposite of that, where you would probably have to go back and probably watch the series at that point. Like, you know, really just to know what the fuck's up.
One of the it sucks, but I guess some good came from that as far as the actors. I guess they're still going to be paid for their for season 5 due to contractual obligations. So they'll still get their,
rather eat their fucking salary than produce that. But like Johnny said, I mean, you got VFX and all that other bullshit that you don't think about aside from the. So they're still saving money, but like that's still like you got to get a little payout just to get them to fuck off at that point. Like it feels shitty. It feels like HBO's fucking us, and I'm upset about it.
Yeah. All right. So let's at least get a little hype about something. So we're still watching. We're still watching Andor for Star Wars.
Yes, sir.
So every time I hear something
the best
about
Star Wars,
absolutely,
I think it's the best Star Wars thing. Property.
I'm still fucking with Mando.
Yeah, Mando's definitely the best Star
I'm
Wars.
fucking with Mando's though. That's an unpopular opinion this week.
Extremely.
It might be an unpopular opinion, but for me, I love Star Warsness.
You're fucking with Andor over
Mando.
Mando? That's crazy.
That is wild. That's wild talk. Think about that tonight. Reflect on that a little bit.
Yes, I would
There's
need
nothing
you
to think about.
I'm not saying that. I mean, Andor is awesome.
Andor's
It's a
awesome.
great show.
Second best for sure. Right under Mando.
Second best, yes, absolutely. Anyway, we're not going to be talking about this
not what this is
blasphemy
about.
anymore.
Yeah.
No. But I brought that up because a while back we talked about how the star of not Hunger Games. Jeez,
Jennifer Lawrence.
No, the star of what's the Korean show?
The Netflix show.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Something
Squid Game.
Squid Game. The star of Squid Game was hired to be in a new Star Wars TV show called The Acolyte. Well, The Acolyte has already started filming and production has started on this show, but I had no idea what this show was about, much like Andor. But we've got an official synopsis on what Acolyte is, and this made me pretty hyped for this. Do you guys want to hear it?
Let's hear it.
Yeah.
So the official synopsis is, it says, The Acolyte is a mystery thriller that will take viewers into a galaxy of shadowy secrets and emerging dark side powers in the final days of the High Republic era. A former Padawan reunites with her Jedi master to investigate a series of crimes, but the forces they confront are more sinister than they ever anticipated. So
That sounds wild.
That's cool.
it sounds great.
It's like
Because
some dark
we're
side shit.
well, yeah, I mean, but I think what I'm more excited about, I think it's going to be a little bit of mixture of what we know Star Wars to be with a little bit of the Andor stuff, but the best part of it is it doesn't have to interact with, and I think that's the most appealing part of Andor, is even though it's in the era or in the time frame of the Skywalker saga, it has nothing to do with the Skywalker saga until you reach the part of where this, attaches itself to Rogue One. But the
which
fact that
probably won't happen
we're
until next season.
right, so the Acolyte seems like it's doing those, it's getting into more
Similar,
of the,
but it's still gonna be more Star Warsy than Andor.
It is because, but I fuck with, yeah, for sure. It's not gonna be what Andor is, but I fuck with the Jedi stuff. Like that's the shit that I like about Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like Andor is cool, and that could be, Andor is dope. Like I love where they went with Andor, but that doesn't have to be everything Star Wars moving forward now.
Word. No, I like that.
Like we still need we still need the Star Wars shit, and this just seems like it would be. I just need them to be like bring in that same element, but doesn't necessarily have to be attached to cameos and how does this make sense within the Skywalker saga and blah blah blah.
But at the same
kind
time,
of
if
what-
Luke and Grogu show up,
That's Mando.
Absolutely.
we down with it. Like, oh shit, this Luke. He look badass.
Yeah, and that's Mando. We got Mando for that, and yeah, and that was
Well, I'm saying
amazing.
that's kind of what Mando is it's very, very little connected to the sky other than Luke showing up to rescue Grogu. Not really connected to Skywalker saga, but it still has.
It's still very much
It
a
still has
fan
Jedi
favorite thing.
stuff. It still has, laser battles and laser guns and laser
Lightsabers.
swords.
Have we seen it? We haven't seen a
lightsaber.
lightsaber in Andor, right?
There's
No, not
I
at
don't
all.
think there's going to be a single lightsaber in Andor, which is one of the things. I
No, there
love
won't
about
be.
it.
I'm not expecting that. Yeah. But it's more of the thing that it does it better. But even though we have some dope espionage stuff, there's still more of the thing that I hated about Star Wars, and it's the fucking the politics behind it all. And it's like sometimes the way that they're doing it for Andor works, but in the overall movies and all of that shit, like that was the shit that I was
They're
just
all
like,
politic heavy.
yeah, they're
bro.
all
Like,
politic
they're-
heavy. It was like,
a lot
Especially the
of-
prequels, yeah.
yeah, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, the prequels was oh my god. But this just seems like it's gonna it might actually fuck. So I'm excited for it.
All right.
More so than before because I didn't fucking know what this shit was other than he was hired for it. Let's see. We have quite a bit of things, so I'm just trying to pick and choose.
The big uns.
Yeah, I got all right. So I don't know what this means as far as, but anyway, Indiana Jones is in development as a series on Disney Plus. Why do we need that? And is that I guess the biggest question? I don't mind that, but is it still fucking Harrison Ford?
It can't be.
I would hope
Can't
not.
be.
Yeah, I
Can't
would
be.
hope not.
Not as a series.
No.
No,
I can't see him even attaching himself to a series. Like, he could barely commit to a movie and give a shit about it.
I'm hoping that
They're doing a movie, right?
Yeah.
We
He's
talked
already
about that. They're
Yeah,
they're in the pre-production, if not production stage of doing the movie. But I can't see him doing a full season of
No, I'm thinking
Indiana
they're
Jones.
passing on the mantle in the movie.
Shia.
probably.
If they're Shy is not even in the conversation there.
Ezra.
What's the
Indiana
most
Jones
polarizing
Untitled
figure you can find right now?
Indiana
make
Jones
him
is in
Indiana
post production.
Kanye's gonna be.
So they've
Indiana
already
Jones.
filmed.
Yeah, post production is it's
awesome.
expected for June 30th, 2023.
Damn.
I'd like to see Kanye joining up with the Nazis as Indiana Jones.
Nobody's clamoring for Kanye anywhere. So I'm not hopeful on that though.
No,
No.
it has no MCU connection. I don't give a fuck.
What the fuck happened?
You froze.
Now you're back.
Now you're back.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was weird. That's
Yeah, I
probably
saw
on my
you.
end.
I saw you
I've
just
been having
smiling
weird
for a good
internet
minute.
shit.
I was like, "Oh, he's frozen. I'm not going to acknowledge
I
this."
thought my
I
Kanye
said, yeah,
joke really landed.
I'd love to see, Kanye teaming up with the Nazis in Indiana Jones.
Oh shit!
Oh,
You
that-
know
yeah,
that's,
actually, look at that. That's a good spin
that's-
right
yeah,
there.
for show. He's got the skull.
Break out into a rap song. Y'all can't fuck with Ye. Bah, 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 bah.
Takes place at the Skechers headquarters.
At the Payless
all right.
headquarters.
Oh,
So another another thing that we did not see coming, and also I don't know if we need this. However, it's happening. But apparently there is a series based on The Gentleman, the movie
Guy Ritchie.
by Guy Ritchie, and Giancarlo Esposito is attached.
I fuck with both of those.
Is that the marijuana movie?
Yeah. With Charlie Hunnam and Colin Farrell and
Yeah.
Matthew McConaughey. Guy, yeah, that was I fucked with that movie. That was
Yeah,
a
it's a
dope,
great
that was
movie.
a dope movie.
I don't know.
I
if we
remember it
need a-
being good, but I don't remember.
I don't know if we need a series.
Really?
of
Yeah, I
it,
mean,
but-
dude, we don't need. We've talked about we
I don't
don't
really
need
remember
any
what the fuck
series,
happened.
but we're gonna fuck with them when they come out, son. Like that's
Maybe.
not. We don't need anything
I fuck with Guy Ritchie movies.
for sure.
Yeah, and this is gonna be a sequel to that movie. It's gonna be an 8-part sequel
Oh,
series.
it's a sequel. Okay, so they're calling it out sequel. All right.
Yep, takes place after
It's
the
a sequel
movie.
series.
Yeah,
Huh. That's
so it's
interesting.
inspired by the film, and obviously of the same name. I'm looking at the cast so far, and
Dope.
the only one I know is Giancarlo Esposito.
Okay. Well, anything he's in is usually pretty good.
I was gonna say,
And
yeah, he
that's-
doesn't
yeah,
just
that's a big
do.
draw.
He
Network
doesn't do
television.
bullshit.
Yeah, he
That
was
is-
on.
Yeah,
He was.
was he?
I remember he was on some NBC show that was like really shitty.
Yeah, but that episode probably fucked.
I think he was like a major character in this show.
Oh, well then, I don't know. I think you're lying to us.
That's probably the only one that NBC show. John.
That's not his fault. That's the writers. That's the production. That's all that.
Yeah, and we can't say except for
it's
shows
his fault for taking a show that's gonna be on fucking NBC.
Right.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
Man.
Might as well be on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. at that point.
Exactly.
And you can't say that because a lot of his
Revolution.
Fame came from,
That's what it was.
Breaking Bad.
A lot of his fame came from Breaking Bad.
Yeah,
He was on
Revolution was
Revolution.
trash.
That was a trash ass show.
That was a
and Giancarlo
garbage ass
Esposito
show,
Was a
yes.
major. He
Yeah.
was the major bad guy.
Hey, they can't all be winners, Johnny. Come on.
All right, so moving on here, Netflix, no surprise here, has ordered 2 more seasons of the Monster series, which currently is the famous Jeffrey Dahmer episodes with our guy, what's his name again? Evan Peters.
Yeah.
So obviously that was like their highest rating show for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So no surprise, they are coming up with more seasons of this depicting other quote unquote monsters, these murderers and shit.
And this is like a serial killer multiverse.
I think so.
That's
It's just gonna, depict the different serial killer.
We fuck with our multiverses here
Yeah.
at IC.
I wouldn't say
who
it's a
they're gonna be?
multiverse. It's just gonna be.
I mean, there could be crossovers. We don't know. We don't know what they're doing.
Maybe, yeah. I don't. No, they have not.
They're gonna go Son of Sam.
Son of Sam would be dope. We've gotten one movie.
They're not gonna do Bundy. Netflix has done too much Ted Bundy stuff.
Yeah, they did a movie recently on Netflix. Yeah.
Yeah. Ah, man, who would that third? Maybe a female. Maybe I don't know who. Maybe they'll find a female just to sort of switch it up a little bit.
I would want to see a movie on Ed
PC.
Gein.
Ed Gein, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's in the public eye, and I don't think enough people know about that. They would go for somebody like a bigger name.
Yeah, that's true.
What's his face? The clown there. Who was the clown?
I know who you're talking about.
The chubby dude.
Yeah, I don't know my serial killers.
Oh fuck! He was in the Dahmer show, bro. He was.
I didn't watch that shit.
I can't think of his. You didn't watch Dahmer?
He did not. He said he was not.
Oh, that's right. No, he did say that.
It didn't interest
That's
me.
right. That's fair. Evan Peters.
John Wayne
fuck.
Gacy.
John Wayne Gacy. Thank you. That was that's who.
He would kill people and go home to his family, right?
Oh yeah. No, that I
There's
mean
a lot of
he
pushback
probably
against
did,
these,
but that
like,
was
true
the
crime shits lately.
That was
the hitman for the mob there. Iceman.
Yeah.
Oh, that Iceman shit was tight. Yeah, maybe they need to do an Iceman joint, like a live action Iceman, but not like the
live action.
Not like the who was it? Michael Shannon. Michael Shannon was in the Iceman movies that they made, which was okay. I didn't hate it, but he didn't look like Kuklinski.
No, he didn't.
Which is, I mean, that dude had a presence, man. That dude was scary as fuck.
I like these mysterious because Dahmer just wasn't overdone. I like the thought of making a son of Sam because we did get Summer of Sam.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. There are a number of people. I guess I would like to see more of the events behind people that we didn't get a whole lot of press on.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that Ed Gein was the inspiration for Buffalo Bill, for Texas Chainsaw Massacre's Leatherface, like he was the inspiration for a lot of horror characters that I would like to see something on that.
Word.
Most people don't even know about Ed Gein,
right?
And that motherfucker
one of the
was
low key,
skinning women and wearing
lampshades,
wearing them like a bodysuit, because he was gay, so he would use it as like a onesie to cover up his genitals.
Not really a thing I want to look into for entertainment. Personally,
you don't like any of that stuff because I told you I was watching what's that called? What was the movie I saw over the weekend that I asked you about?
Barbarian.
Barbarian, yeah, that was dope. That was dope.
Johnny was like, "Nah, this
That's
is too
this
scary."
different vibe, but it just looked really.
The trailer made it. Yeah, the trailer made it seem way more intense than it was. It had some good jump scares, but there was like breakups and like things to break up the tension. Whereas instead of like in a lot of these movies, it's just like tension, 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 and it never lets up. There were some good, funny things that would break it up from time to time that I liked. I like Justin Long too, because he's in Justin, that. Yeah. And then like I believe I told y'all, is like the scenario wasn't necessarily, I mean, I guess it can be plausible and some weird shit happens in this world, but it's like, oh, okay. Like this isn't something that just could normally like randomly happen to me in my home, right. So there's a sense of, there's an ease there. So it's not like I'm bringing negative spirits into my life or anything like that. But it was good. It was good. We're getting a little bit later, so let's see. This was an interesting one because we brought them up before, but the Russo brothers, and I'm not a fan. Anyway, the Russo brothers confirmed that they are directing a live-action Hercules movie for Disney, and I'm not a huge fan of the live action movies that Disney has. They're not terrible, but they're not great either. So I don't know, but
I couldn't be less interested in that.
Well, oh wait, you're not even. We haven't even gotten to this point where we are less interested. It will be a musical inspired by TikTok.
I saw that part. That's why I'm.
That's why
you not be more disinterested.
Yeah, this is why I can't. This is why I gotta hide it from you because I stop reading my fucking pages.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah. So
exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
I don't know what that means either. But when they were asked about it, he says,
Dancing, I'm guessing.
The what?
Dancing.
I mean, obviously, because Hercules was a musical. The Hercules cartoon.
I mean, yeah,
was a
all
musical.
the Disney movies are musicals, so like they're already a musical. I'm just trying to say like the inspired by TikTok part. I'm guessing is going to be like more dance battles or something.
So this is what Joe Russo said about it. He says audiences today have been trained by TikTok, right? What is their expectation of what that musical looks like and feels like pretty much today? Hercules will be a little bit more experimental in tone, a little bit more experimental in execution. I think they're talking about Disney, excited to see what we can all bring in a way that isn't just reinterpretation of the animated film. So pretty much what he's saying is like, and we are in, there are a lot of kids nowadays. That's what they like about TikTok is the dances and all that stuff. I think obviously it's going to be something very similar, but inspired by TikTok. What that means, we're going to have to wait and see. But he just doesn't want to regurgitate the same exact thing that we saw in the animated movie, which is what we've been seeing with all of these movies. They're just
the live action remix.
Yeah, they're just recycling it. But I haven't been a fan. I was not a fan of like Aladdin or anything.
Yeah,
like
I didn't watch any.
That was my favorite. That was one of my favorites.
Jungle Book I watched because of Jon Favreau.
Yeah, it was all right.
Gave it a shot. It was okay.
Yeah,
I haven't watched any of
them. But it was a
really
rehashing of exactly what we saw.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think we have a few other things, but we've been running late today, so I think we can save them for next time.
Sounds good.
Throw some shit in for next time.
We'll tack it on. Start a little bit earlier.
Yeah. All right. So, do you guys have anything else to add to this stellar conversation?
I'm fucking with the new Unsolved Mysteries on Netflix.
You've been fucking with Unsolved Mysteries.
Yeah, but this they dropped a new volume over the past couple, and they do like 3 episodes a week in this new season.
Anyone that sticks out to you?
There was one about people that were married, had kids, split up, and one of the spouses straight kidnaps the children and goes elsewhere, and there's fucking nothing that can be done, basically. And they're two very, very fucked up stories that have me heated. And as a parent, I know that you just imagining this happening where, you know, you come home and your fucking kids are gone and you don't see them again ever. Heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Heartbreak. Like
these
2 episodes, like the 2 stories that they tell in this particular episode. And they also brought back some more UFO and ghost type stuff in this new volume. And I always fucked with that on the old Unsolved Mysteries. But yeah, that was all I had to add. It was nothing crazy. Just check out those new Unsolved Mysteries. They're tight.
I fuck with the UFO ones. The ghost stuff I love watching, but I can't be that. See, like I'm with Johnny on that. It's just like the ghost stuff. I'm like, especially because like when I used to have cable and I would switch through the channels, I would end up on a channel that does like some ghost shit, and then I still do it today with TikTok. Honestly, it hasn't popped
scary
up.
Shit that freaks
it
you
hasn't
out?
popped up in quite some time because I've just been skipping them. So the algorithm, picked up on that.
Yeah.
But it's the ghost shit for me where it's like I'm good on that. But I am also very curious about shit like that.
I think that's where that's my fault, where I am curious, and then I'm like, I didn't want to know all this. I'm terrified now.
Exactly. But see, that's what I was talking about with like Barbarian, where I was happy because I was like, oh, well, this is like something that just can't happen to me in my home, like randomly, that I'm paranoid about this.
There's certain circumstances that have to happen, and
Correct.
those aren't my circumstances.
Yeah,
so
those ain't my circumstances, so I'm good with this. Like, it was just some jump scares, and shit, that was crazy. Yep. Oh shit, that was kind of funny. Okay, like, so I fucked with it. Yeah. But when it gets to like The Conjuring and all that, where it starts getting into like these creepy little ghost things and then it's like, well, but wait, like that can kind of. Technically, then your mind starts to wander and shit, and then that's what's fucking with you in the end. But yeah, so
no, I get it.
I don't know. I might fuck with that though.
China, they're decent. They're not as scary, honestly, and there's no Robert Stack, and the music's a little different, so it doesn't have that quite super scary vibe. But they're interesting little sort of mini episodes that are self-contained and just thought-provoking.
All right, so then I guess since we talked about it, I was fucking with Barbarian. That's okay. That's
probably way scarier than Unsolved Mysteries.
That is offered on or it popped up on HBO Max. I didn't even know that Barbarian dropped back in September.
Same,
but yeah, it gave it that 45 days or whatever. Now it's on HBO Max, so check it out if you're interested.
Word.
Sweet.
Yeah, I've been fucking, obviously, I think we've already mentioned, right? Fucking with the Peripheral.
Hard.
Going pretty hard on the Peripheral. That's my.
And is that because we saw the panel? Do we feel like a connection to the Peripheral because we were? Sitting on the
I think
panel
there's more of a connection
I feel like I do.
because of that. I know I was hyped for it when I seen the very first. I think the first commercial that I seen for the Peripheral was like. The opening NFL game, like the first game of the NFL season. I think that's the first time I seen the commercial for it. But after that,
because we all saw the trailer and we're like, "Yo,
I remember.
this looks dope."
And then we seen the panel, and definitely, I feel like more responsibility to watch it. But so far, I would say the only thing that I don't like about the Peripherals so far is I feel like the last scene of every episode is not very dramatic.
Final.
Like, it just does. There's nothing like, oh shit, that ended crazy. I can't wait to watch next week. It's like it always
like commercial
it ends
break
with something, and then they like show something else, and then they're like. They just like say something and then they kind of just like walk away, and then suddenly it's a black screen, and it's just like, what the fuck? Like, that's how the show like every episode ending so far has been a little lackluster, but outside of that, the overall story arc has been pretty dope. And then I started watching DMZ because I missed it when it first came out, and I'm just watching it now. It's a little mini series on HBO Rosario Dawson. I think it's DC based, and it's fun. It's just something to watch while the baby's asleep on my chest.
I was gonna say, yeah, while you're rocking the baby.
Just very, very quick question. Just because I saw this on HBO Max, but have y'all heard or have seen Pennyworth? I think it's called.
I've wanted to.
Just
like,
the trailers.
I've seen trailers and like
I've never
images
even seen
of
trailers.
it, and it looked kind of badass. Like,
Yeah.
like I would fuck
Looks
with
like
it.
it's
If I,
Alfred,
like,
set
right?
in the old times though.
yeah,
Because it's Alfred as a young
it's
man.
just
right?
like an Alfred
Yeah.
sort of origin story,
Okay.
sort of, right? Would you consider it?
That's what it seems
Yeah,
like.
yeah. That's what
I'm
it
just
is.
so-
It's an Alfred origin story.
I'm just so like when it comes to those one-off
Yeah.
DC
Exactly.
shows, I'm like,
Yeah.
And this leads us back.
I'm
That's a good
scared that it's
callback
gonna
to
be
our
CW.
earlier-
yeah,
Right.
yeah. Because I was fucking with Titans for a little bit, and then like it started off pretty good, and then it turned into CW. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, I also saw See How They Run. You know me, I love a good whodunit. And this was a whodunit that was surrounded around. So it showed up on HBO Max, I think, is how I saw it. It was around an Agatha Christie story, but it was like meta in that like all of the players in the show or in the movie rather are actors in the Agatha Christie play that's happening called The Mousetrap. And then there's a murder of one of the people involved that was trying to like make the movie. It's like the director of the film adaptation of the play or whatever. He gets murdered, and then it becomes, you know, another kind of Knives Out, whodunit,
Ooh, Knives
Sherlock
Out,
Holmes,
okay.
etc. You know, it's Agatha Christie style, right? You know,
Yeah.
it's, you know, 8 people, and you're trying to figure out who's the person that did it. They all end up in the same room at the end. The funny thing is that they reference that multiple. That's what I liked about it, is it's kind of meta to the whodunit genre. Like they mention multiple times all the typical tropes in a whodunit movie or film or even play or book story, etc. So that's pretty lit. I liked it. It's called See How They Run.
Nice.
Adrian Brody plays another great character. He's like a really good character actor. I like him.
Yeah, I
Yes.
like Adrian Brody.
Yeah.
And also, if you haven't seen it, the trailer for
I
the
think Sam
Knives
Rockwell.
Out sequel dropped too.
Oh, Glass
Sam
Onion.
Rockwell's
Yeah,
in
that
it?
just dropped.
Yeah. Yep,
I think
that just
it's
dropped, so.
Sam Rockwell is playing the
I
main.
love Sam Rockwell.
Yeah, Sam Rockwell's good.
See How They Run is
plays a good villain.
yeah, Sam
Always.
Rockwell is the main
Nice.
the main detective
Damn.
inspector.
Inspector. Yeah, they're inspectors. They're not detectives.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
right.
So, anybody else have anything to add?
No, that's how we fucking went.
Cool. I fuck with
That's
it.
it.
All right. Guys, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of the podcast. If you've made it this far, you fuck with us, so we fuck with you. Remember to review the podcast and give us a 5-star rating if you enjoy us that much, wherever it is that you listen to our podcast. If you're watching us on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Give us that thumbs up. Let us know there how much you like our show and why. Also, if you want to cop some merch, some new merch is coming soon. So go to insensitivemerch.com and cop you some gear. But other than that, thank you so much for listening to us, guys. We love you. Peace. Peace.